soul with your mercy.
I thank you, my Lord, for all you've done for me. You bless my life in so many ways. No, I will never, ever leave you. I won't be ungrateful to you, my Lord. I know that this world is all in your hands.
We are your children,
And so we give you praise.
oh Father, you know I love you.
You touch my heart, my soul
With your mercy,
I thank you, my Lord, for all you've done for me. You bless my life in so many ways. Father, I love in so many ways. Oh, Lord. So when I remember just where I'm coming from, hey, to where I'm standing now, fell to my knees in praise of your name, thanking you, Lord, every step of the way.
oh Father, you know I love you.
You touch my heart, my soul.
With your mercy,
I thank you, my Lord, for all you've done for me. You bless my life in so many ways. Oh, I will never, ever leave you out. I won't be ungrateful to you, my Lord. I know that this world is all in your hands.
we are your children,
And so we give you praise.
oh Father, you know I love you.
You touch my heart, my soul.
With your mercy,
I thank you, my Lord, for all you've done for me. You bless my life in so many. He's always there for me. Yeah, yeah.
so no matter what the circumstances may be,
No.
God is always there for me.
Yeah, through the sunshine
Or through the rain,
through the pleasure, all
through the pain, God is always there for me.
So I met this old man. He was so poor, didn't hold no bed, so we slept on the floor. He's always smiling, never heard him complain. He said, I've proven God again and again.
So no matter what the circumstances may be, God is always there for me.
Yeah. Through the sunshine,
Or through the rain,
through the pleasure, all
through the pain, God is always there for me. No matter what the circumstances may be,
yeah.
God is always there for me.
Yeah. Through the good times,
Or through the bad,
through the happy times, all
through
through
the
the
sad, God is always there for me.
The landlord weighs the rent,
School fee due,
partner to our bonds, and the youth them need you.
friends all ask me
What I'm gonna do? I smile and tell them that God will see me through.
no matter what the circumstances. circumstances, baby.
Yeah,
God is always there for me.
yeah. Through the sunshine
All through the rain,
through the pleasure or
through the pain, God is always there for me.
so no matter what the
Circumstances, baby. God is always there for me.
yeah. Through the good times
All through the bad,
through the happy times or
through
through
the
the
sad, God is always there for me.
I met this old man. He was so poor. He didn't hold a bed, so he slept on the floor. He's always smiling. I never heard him complain. He said, "I'm proving God again and again."
So no matter what the circumstances, baby, God is always there for me.
Yeah, through the sunshine,
All through the rain,
through the pleasure, all
through the pain, God is always there for me. No matter what the circumstances, baby,
no.
God is always there for me.
Yeah, through the good times
All through the bad,
through the happy times all through the when you wear it.
Good afternoon to all my listeners and viewers. Welcome to Rebel Radio. Yes, today being Wednesday. Yes. And as usual, we have your plate, filled with news for you. Interesting discussions today. And we are going to start our day. At Rebel Radio, we keep in touch. We keep our listeners abreast of what is happening to our neighbors. We are just one big community in the Caribbean. Yes, we are just one people. Yes, facing similar circumstances. And today we are going to start our discussion in Suriname. And we have with us one of our colleagues there, senior journalist Eureka Tijana Way. And she's going to tell us about what is happening in Suriname. Eureka, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Rebel Radio, for having me.
Yes, and thanks for accepting our invitation. How is it in Suriname today? How is the weather?
The weather is great. I love this weather this time of the year. It's not too hot, and it's not too hot and not too cold. We do have a little bit of drought in the interior. So we have problems there with climate change, but mostly in the city we have nice weather conditions.
That's beautiful. And
yes,
like Jamaica, Suriname is preparing for an election this year. And before we go there, your former leader, former President Boterse, he died last week?
Yes, he died. He died in the end of December.
Yes.
Very interesting to see the changes that will bring across in the coming election.
Yes.
Bautasha was he was a year long. He was on the run because he was convicted for the murders in 1982. When he murdered when his regime murdered 15 Surinamese upper class people more. But there's much more. The interior war, the human rights violations that happened then. So maybe now that Mr. Bautasha has closed his eyes, we can start looking at that period and really looking at who was involved and who was not involved, because it's not black and white. As journalists, we also know that there's a lot of gray area also. But indeed, he died, and his funeral was wow. There's never been such a big crowd in Suriname on the streets when his funeral was held. Very, very big crowd. Saturday, January 4th. Yes, there's never been a greater crowd. Never.
Right. So are we to understand that his party is that party likely to win the next election?
I'm not sure if that is going to happen, but I think they will be one of the biggest parties. I think because the government who's now in office has done a lot of economic reforms, and those have had a big effect on a big deal of the population in Suriname. So they are not very popular, because we also have a big population that is, how do you say, they are more poor people, not very well educated. So they haven't had any information on why the economic reforms were necessary. So they're very mad. The party of the VHP is now starting their election campaign, and they were in some neighborhoods where a lot of people don't have the right information, and they weren't greeted very friendly. Let's say that there were no incidents, but they weren't treated very friendly.
Oh, I see. Yes.
Yes.
And preparations are now being made for elections this year.
Yes, and in fact, these preparations are very, very late. There were some court cases because the sitting government presented some rules for parties to take part in the election, and those were very expensive rules. Like you had to pay almost a million Surinamese dollars to be able to take part in the elections, and the parties took the government to court, to the Constitutional Court, and they won. So it's had its effect on the procedures. But we launched yesterday finally, and elections are in May 2025. 25th of May this year. It will be the first kind of elections that we're having this year, because our constitution was changed to one man, one vote principle.
Oh, I see. So, what are the main parties contending for these elections?
We have the sitting government, who is the VHP of Mr. Shantoki, that's the president.
Yes.
We have the ABOP, that is of the vice president, Mr. Brunswijk. They are in the coalition. But then we have the NDP, that's the party of Mr. Bautasha, who is in the opposition, they are the biggest party. They have 16 seats in parliament.
Yes.
We have 51. So they have 16, VHP has 20, ABOP has 6, and we also have the NPS, that is the party of, I don't know if you guys know him, Ronald Fenichan. He was president a few times in Suriname. That's his party, and they are also contending. And then we have a few smaller parties who I don't think they will make a lot of change because our voters are very traditional. They don't really believe that small parties can make a difference. So I think that those 4 will be the biggest contenders this election.
Okay. Yes. It's interesting. So
Yes, it is. It is.
yes. What is the mood of the people in Suriname now? For example, I know that when I spoke to, I know that there's a issue with cost of living. I know that there are some issues with crime. There are some.
Yes.
Yes. And so, what is the mood of the country right now?
Surinamese people, they don't have the fire that the Jamaicans have. Jamaican people are more, fire. They like to this is the cultural way of doing things, really telling what you think. But Surinamese people are passive.
Yes.
Yes, there are a lot of problems with cost of living. Very expensive. The electricity bills are going up. The water bills are going up. So people have problem cost of living, but the inflation is going down.
Uh-huh.
So we have 9%, and we're coming from 60% when this government started.
Yes.
So it's going down. But people are not really seeing that because maybe the goods in the stores are getting a little bit more cheap, but the bills of the water, the electricity, telephone bills, internet bills, everything is rising because our currency has dropped considerably. So it's people are passive, but people don't like the situation now. They are barely making it because the salaries aren't really rising.
Yes.
Now, there is one thing that is positive going into the coming years, and that is our oil, gas and oil.
Yes, yes.
People are being hopeful that will bring a change. And the government is telling people that everybody will find jobs, but we know that that's not true. Oil and gas has its repercussions on the economy. But we're in a very interesting place right now. Yes, we are.
Okay, yes. And last year, what was the crime like in Suriname?
I must say that as you know, as soon as people have a problem making ends meet, crime rate goes up. So the crime rate went up considerably in Suriname. But we're still one of the safest countries in the Caribbean, so that is still something that we are proud of. But if we put the 2 periods at the beginning of this government and now, crime has gone up, and that is a pity, of course. People don't really feel safe everywhere anymore.
Yes, and I also observed that suicide. There's a problem with suicides.
Yes. Suriname has one of the highest suicide rates in the Caribbean.
Yes.
And it is very it's a very concerning situation. People it seems like they don't have the skills to get out of a certain situation. People have a lot of loans. People can't make ends meet. Sometimes on Facebook, in Suriname, you see a lot of names of people who have to pay other people, and they can't meet ends. So that's one of the biggest problems in the suicide. But it's also very cultural because there is some, how do you say it? When in Indian families, you have to new things coming together. The new way people live in social media, where girlfriend and boyfriend things go very fast, and the traditional way of doing things. And I think that that is also a big factor in Suriname at the moment with the Indian people, because they are one of the big contributors to the suicide rate.
Yes, yes. Well, let us see what is going to happen. As you said, of the positive side there, I see where the Suriname is on its way now to some new exploration with oil, and that is
Yes, we expect first oil 2028.
yes, right. So Suriname will join Guyana as a oil producing country in our region.
Yes, we will. We will.
So
Yes,
that should have a positive impact on lives in the country.
we're
Yes.
hoping. We're hoping for that,
Right. But in the
because
meantime,
we are in need. We are dire in need of a break.
yeah, of course, I can well understand that. So let us hope that, in the meantime, lives will improve so that people can enjoy better standard of living. And
Yes, better quality of life. That's
Yeah.
what people really are looking for now.
right. So let us hope, as I said, that things will improve. And I want to thank you for your time. And as you
It
know,
was a pleasure.
as you know, you are you are part of Rebel Radio. You are our voice.
Yes.
Yes, you are our
Thank
voice
you.
in Suriname to keep us informed
Yes.
about what is
Yes,
happening.
we will.
Yes. So
Will do.
thank
Will
you.
do. Thank you, Rebel Radio.
Okay, thank you very much. That was Eureka Tijana Way. Yes, our journalist colleague over there in Suriname. And you heard what she said, the cost of living. Yes, this is an issue around the world, Yes, and we in the Caribbean, we are getting the worst side of it. Yes, this small, underdeveloped country, and all over the world at this time, people are having serious difficulties with life. And boy, let us hope things will improve. In Suriname, one of their issues there, as we discussed, the suicide. I think there was 130. You'll have to go and research the numbers. I think it was last year, it was over 130 suicides in Suriname. That's a big issue. Let's take a break now. This is Rebel Radio. You saw my
It's the Everybody Sale at New Budget Supplies. Do-it-yourself professionals and contractors. This is the sale for you. Lumber, steel, dress and form ply, water tanks, pumps, PVC pipes and fittings, toilets, bathtubs, vanities and basins, windows, paint, doors, floor and wall tiles, thin sets and grout. Up to 20% off selected items. 195 Hagley Park Road. Telephone 923-4560. New Budget Supplies. Always the best prices.
This Friday at 4:30 p.m., join me for a brand new episode of the Big Bite Food Safety Show. We're diving into an important conversation about the legacy of colonialism and its impact on our nutrition today. From the rise of processed foods to the challenges of balancing traditional diets with modern eating habits, we're exploring how history still shapes what we eat and how we feed our children. Did you know that Caribbean children face rising rates of obesity while also suffering from malnutrition? We're bringing you solutions like government programs, local food initiatives, and tips on integrating nutrient-rich foods into your family's diet. Let's take a bite.
It's Tools Hardware Supplies New Year Renovation Mega Sale!
For the whole month of January!
Get unbeatable prices
On porcelain, ceramic tiles, windows, doors, paints, and more!
top quality products to renovate your bathroom, kitchen, and living room with exciting new arrivals!
Don't wanna wait! Shop now!
Happy New Year from Tools!
So, come visit us at 279 Spanish Town Road, 4 South Camp Road, 8 Red Hills Road,
Or online at toolsja.com.
Tools!
The Lion King of Heart here.
Welcome back to Rebel Radio, and we are going over to Grenada. You will recall that earlier this year, last year rather, Grenada, Curacao in Grenada, was one of those places that was terrible, was beaten up by hurricane. Yes. A lot of damage and people were left homeless. Significant damage to property over there. Well, based on my feedback, a lot of work has been done, and the lives of people are back to normal, or they are in that process. We have with us Mr. Terence Walters, and he is the National Disaster Coordinator in the National Disaster Agency in Grenada. Mr. Walters, good afternoon to you, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon, and good afternoon to all your listeners everywhere. Thanks
Yes,
for having me this afternoon.
right. So I know that Curacao was almost demolished. What is the situation down there now?
All right, so just a little context. So the the state of Grenada, we're made up of 3 islands, and there were several other smaller uninhabited islands. So the 3 inhabited islands are Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. And Carriacou and Petite Martinique form part of the Grenadine Islands. So we have St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Okay, so there's St. Vincent and Union Island and Big Creek, Canoa, and a number of islands. So remember, St. Vincent was also hit by the hurricane, St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Yes,
Carriacou and Petite Martinique form part of the Grenadines, but these 2 islands belong to the state of Grenada. So on July 1st last year, that's 2024, we were significantly impacted by Hurricane Beryl, Category 4 Hurricane Beryl. So Beryl passed to the north of mainland Grenada, and I passed close to over the islands of Carriacou and Petite Martinique, and then all the other Grenadine islands, including St. Vincent, were impacted also. But we're going to just talk specifically about Carriacou and Petite Martinique, those 2 smaller islands that belong to the state of Grenada. And just to stay, mainland Grenada, the northern part of mainland Grenada, was also impacted by the hurricane, but not as significant as Carriacou and Petite Martinique. So Carriacou and Petite Martinique had significant destruction. 98% of buildings were either damaged or destroyed. And then you had significant damage to the infrastructure, utility lines and poles, and schools, hospital, the port, homes. A number of other places were significantly damaged, destroyed by Hurricane Beryl on July 1st, 2024. So that's the situation, and lives and livelihoods were impacted. Fortunately, there were only 2 deaths attributed to Hurricane Beryl, 2 deaths, and we were very thankful for that. So 2 in Carriacou and 1 in Grenada. So in total, 3 deaths attributed to the passage of Hurricane Beryl in the state of Grenada, which includes Carriacou and Petite Martinique. Okay, so that was something that we were very thankful for. But there was significant destruction to the fishing sector, the mangroves, so quite a lot of destruction.
Yes. So what has happened since? How is the recovery program getting along?
Well, we must say that the government of Grenada chipped in and did its part. Okay, so we had the government ensuring that the response and the relief, the recovery was in place for Hurricane Beryl. Then we had the local disaster management office, also the regional entity, that's CDMA, the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency, provided significant assistance to Grenada following the passage of Hurricane Beryl. And then a number of regional and international entities provided assistance. So you had the local government and all the other response agencies like Red Cross, ADRA, and our local district committees and volunteers providing assistance. And you had the regional, and then you had international and a number of international entities, World Food Program and a number of others, Samaritan's Post, a number of others providing significant assistance to the state of Grenada, again, which includes Carriacou and Petite Martinique, following the passage of Beryl. So we were happy for the assistance provided following the passage and destruction caused by Hurricane Beryl. And over the past 5 months, going on to 6 months, we have seen significant, and we are very happy and pleased with the progress in Carriacou and Petite Martinique. Because there's electricity all across the islands now, there's water and transport, shops and supermarkets and stores, and so I mean have reopened, and the hospital has also started functioning again. The senior citizens home has been refurbished, and the residents have returned to the home. Schools have reopened. So we've seen progress that we can be happy with. Now, although there have been a number of, or what I should say is that everything is not back up and running because there's still work in progress. Okay, there's still work in progress as we go along. There's also some of the entities in terms of housing, okay, that they still need some work because you want to rebuild, you want to build back stronger and better, but you want to ensure that when you're building back stronger and better, that you don't just rush and do it, but at least you have a plan in place, you get the relevant entities and authorities in place, and you build back stronger, build back better. So a number of the areas have progressed nicely, and we're continuing now with the housing because housing is one of the areas that you must take some time. Okay, it must take some time. Now, I must say that private citizens have been rebuilding. Private citizens have ensured that they do what they can, okay, to repair. Those who can afford, have been repairing their homes and putting back their roofs and building back. And then there are some people who can't afford to do it immediately. The government is providing some assistance, and so we're progressing with a Build Back Better program.
So people are still in shelters?
Yes, there are still a few people in shelters, okay, but not many people are in the shelters. But generally people have moved on. It's just a few people that need some assistance to rebuild their homes, okay, who are in some shelters, but that's not many people. I don't have an exact figure to give you today, but I know it's just a few people in the shelters.
Yes. But you said the infrastructure has been repaired, so utilities are back. You said the hospitals are back in service and schools are in operation, right?
Right. Yes. Okay.
Right.
Yes, that's correct. Schools are in operation, and the hospital and police station has been refurbished. So yes, a number of the government buildings and so have been refurbished, and government services are back up and running. Yes.
Right. Okay. So, but as you said that they are still working on the housing, to repair houses. Those residents who can afford are doing their own repairs, but others are, the state is going to assist to repair some of those houses.
The state has started a program to assist.
Yes.
It's ongoing. That program is ongoing. Yes.
All right. So we would say that life has started now to return to the communities. People are.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I was in Karakou like 2 months after the hurricane, and I stepped outside in the night, and I was surprised, to see how things, because Karakou, the residents are resilient people, and they have done what is necessary with the assistance provided to ensure that things are back to normal as quickly as possible. So I would say that life is returning to normal for the people of Karakou and Pidgin.
And what about the other areas that were impacted? They are. What is happening? What has happened?
Well, there's some areas to the north of Grenada, and it was not as significant as Karakou and Petit Martinique. Okay, so again, utilities have returned, and homes have been repaired. So the work and the work has progressed nicely in those
Right.
areas. And because these areas were not as impacted as significant as Carriacou and Pitimatnik, it was a lot easier to progress with those areas.
All right, sir. Well, it is good to know that,
Yes.
life has been started to be dealt with because, we are in a new year and we hope that we don't have any hurricane in our region this year. We sincerely hope, but we can't rule out because climate change, the situation has changed considerably. We in the Caribbean, we are in a disaster area, so we can expect to have some disaster this year. Let us hope that, we are spared. So thank you very much for your time.
Right, sure, definitely. And like you said, we're hoping that we do not have any disaster in the region.
Right.
But the most that we can do is to prepare ourselves just in case. So I hope that people who are listening take the preparedness seriously and ensure they do what they have to do to be ready for any of the hazards that may come our way. And again, we do hope that they do not come.
Yes, sir. Yes, we sincerely hope so. Thank you very much, Mr. Walters.
You're most welcome, yes?
Yes, sir. That was...
Okay, then, bye-bye.
Yes.
Okay,
it was Mr. Terence Walters, their disaster coordinator in Grenada. And you heard him telling us what has happened after hurricane partially destroyed Curacao. Yes. As you know, we are in a new year. I don't see the predictions. It is still early, but we can expect to have hurricanes in the region this year again. Last year we in Jamaica, we got touched by it, and I know that to the southern part of Jamaica, that was badly hit. People are still recovering down there, yes, and the roads damaged to the infrastructure, especially the roads, not yet fixed. As a matter of fact, the government road repair program has started. So I know, I don't know, I don't believe that all those roads are going to be fixed before the start of the next hurricane season. It starts in June. But let us hope that we are spared this year. We hope that, things will be not as it were last year. That's what we are hoping for. One of the things that has happened since the start of this year, we have not started brightly, we are not started on the right track with everything at all. For example, we started off on the wrong footing as far as crime is concerned. Yes, the figure we had that for the first 11 days. Today is the 15th, I think. For the first 11 days of the year, we had 34 murders, and that was 8 more than we had over similar period last year, right? And as you know, we reduced, homicides were reduced by 19% last year. And I would, as I have said before, we started on the right track, right? But we are nowhere near where we ought to be. We would like to see our homicide rate below the 1,000 figure. For the past 24 years, every year for the past 24 years, we have killed over 1,000, right? But as we said on this program, that the crime problem is a Caribbean problem. And we at Rebel Radio, we want to urge all the Caribbean policy makers that they should implement that plan, that declaration that was made by CARICOM in 2023 to treat crime as a public health issue. We would want to see all our Caribbean leaders, decision makers, adopt that policy, go on that pathway this year. Yes. So far, when you look throughout the Caribbean, we are using the suppressive measures to address the crime problem. And yes, we will have to use some of that. But that alone will not address the crime problem. No. We must approach this problem in a holistic way. As I said, it must be treated as a public health issue. All the citizens must be involved in this fight. We want every individual to participate. Yes, there's a role for all of us. And we must play our part, because we must stop killing each other. We must stop that. We are throughout the Caribbean last year was a bad year. Very bad year for us. We killed so many of our brothers and sisters last year. And this year we would want us to start, putting in place, changing our attitude. We want that. Therefore, we want the Caribbean leaders to adopt or start implementing this public health. Start treating crime as a public health issue. We want that. And one of the areas that must be dealt with is how are we going to rehabilitate the youth throughout the Caribbean. Most of the practitioners of crime are the young people, and most of the victims are also the young people. So we must put some effort starting this year. Double our efforts. Whatever we are doing in that direction now, let us double it. I'm talking about plans, programs to attract the youth, to train the youth, to educate the youth, to provide the youth with tools for them to earn an honest living. Right? And we must do work towards the reduction of the guns in the Caribbean. Too many guns. Yes, too many. I'm just looking at a news report here. Jamaican tennis legend Richard Russell has died. Yes, renowned international tennis legend Richard Russell has died at the age of 79. Russell died early this morning at the hospital in Montego Bay, 3 days after being admitted with pneumonia. Yes, that is sad. Sad news there for us at Richard legend. Richard Russell, that one, he has died. We hope condolences to his family, friends and associates from Rebel Radio. Yes, we are, this year has been since the end of the year to now, we have lost some stalwarts. Yes. And, it's a road for us all, but it's a road that, boy, it is always burdensome, sorrowful when we lose our brothers and sisters. But we have to live. The other thing that we are looking at, we don't want our police force to return to the past when we had, in other words, fatal shootings by the police was a feature of policing in Jamaica. We don't want a return to that. We don't. Right? So, to reduce crime, what we are saying, to reduce crime, we don't want the police to resort to fatal shootings. Last year the number was high. Yes, was not a good year. 189 police shootings last year. 189. Yes. That was 33 more than it was in 23. So yes, we want a reduction in crime. We want that. But we don't want the police to be to return to an era. I am trying to remember the year when they had 352 fatal shootings. That was one of that remained the highest number in the history of the police force, right? We don't want 189, that is 11 less than 200 last year. No, that is unacceptable. No. And one of the things that we are pushing for, we want the police to wear body cams so that we can have more accurate accounts. And that you know, when the police wear body cams, you know, that is good for the reputation of the police force. Because people are telling lies too, right? So we want the police to be in a position that when they say X happened, right, we were fired on and we returned fire. And the person who did that was killed. All right, let us take a break. This is Rebel Radio.
It's the Everybody Sale at New Budget Supplies. Do-it-yourself professionals and contractors. This is the sale for you. Lumber, steel, dress and form ply, water tanks, pumps, PVC pipes and fittings, toilets, bathtubs, vanities and basins, windows, paint, doors, floor and wall tiles, thin sets and grout. Up to 20% off selected items. 195 Hagleyburg Road. Telephone 923-4560. New Budget Supplies. Always the best prices.
This Friday at 4:30 p.m., join me for a brand new episode of the Big Bite Food Safety Show. We're diving into an important conversation about the legacy of colonialism and its impact on our nutrition today. From the rise of processed foods to the challenges of balancing traditional diets with modern eating habits, we're exploring how history still shapes what we eat and how we feed our children. Did you know that Caribbean children face rising rates of obesity while also suffering from malnutrition? We're bringing you solutions like government programs, local food initiatives, and tips on integrating nutrient-rich foods into your family's diet. Let's take a bite.
It's Tools, Hardware and Supplies New Year Renovation Mega Sale!
For the whole month of January.
Get unbeatable prices
On porcelain, ceramic tiles, windows, doors, paints, and more.
top quality products to renovate your bathroom, kitchen, and living room with exciting new arrivals.
Don't bother wait. Shop now. Happy New Year from Tools. So come visit us at 279 Spanish Town Road, 4 South Camp Road, 8 Red Hills Road,
Or online at toolsja.com.
Tools.
The Lion King of Hardware.
Yes, welcome back to Rebel Radio, right? And we have with us now the mayor of Maypen, Councillor Joel Williams. Good afternoon, Mayor.
Good afternoon to you too, sir, and to your listeners.
Yes, sir. Welcome.
And I wish you
Yes. Wish you
all the best for the new year.
Yes, sir. Thank you, and same to you and yours and your
Thank you.
associate. Your associate.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. What is happening to Maypen, sir? That is a place where I spent some years working. You know, what is happening to that town?
Well, Maypen is up and buzzing as usual. A lot of new emerging businesses are coming up in the town. We can't find any space. Well, there's no more land space in and around the town of Maypen.
Oh.
The town is expanding in all directions, east, west, north, south, yes.
Right.
So if you should come to Maypen right now, and you go Chapperton Road, there's a lot of emerging business taking place there. We have on the agenda to begin in that corridor. Probably later on this year into next year, a BPO establishment.
Yes.
We have plazas and housing going up in that corridor, going back towards Langsville and those areas. So yeah, that's correct.
Whoa.
And if you leave from the clock tower towards Denby, all the way to beyond Four Path, the same thing.
Okay.
Lots of new business emerging.
Yes. So Main Street now is filled with business, no empty space.
Filled with business, no empty spaces. As it relates to one of the big issues that we're grappling with now is finding place to accommodate our vehicular traffic.
Oh my, yes.
Yeah.
What has been done to deal with the market in Maypen? That has been an issue, as far as I know, for a very long time.
For a very long time, people feel that the market is in a bad location. But I ask you the question: if you move the market, you kill the town.
Yes.
All right, because your market is always that economic base that carry the center of your town.
Yes.
So even if we should move it from where it is now, it could not be far away from where it is presently.
Yes.
You know where the Methodist Church is, up on Summers Road.
Yes.
Beside Central High School. We were having discussion with the Methodists at some point to see if we could move the market back a little in that direction. But presently, no. You can't move the market, because if you do that, as I've said before, you're going to kill the commerce in your town.
Okay. So you and your colleagues, I know, then are working to improve what is there.
We would have done some significant improvements since I took office. I try to be a little bit more tighter in terms of the management of how we manage the market. Because even though you are at a disadvantage in some way, if you manage it properly, then you can get more results from what you have working with.
Okay, yes. So Mayor, when you look at your agenda, what are some of your plans, the plans of the municipality for 25?
Well, coming up 2024, part of that, number one on our agenda was to make sure that we do some improvement to the market, sanitary convenience, cleaning, to keep the market clean, because if you're asking your persons in the community and within the space of Maypen to utilize the market, then you must give them something that is clean and habitable that they want to go to do their business. And so that was the first order of business. We still have more to be done, but we continue to build out as we go along. Yeah. Secondly, is to see how best we can manage the traffic in and around the town of Maypen. Mm-hmm. Presently, we have a plan on board where we have through the National Works Agency, we're looking at how we can turn some of the roads in Maypen in one way. Okay. Yeah. And also it creates a better space for you to get in and out of the town with more comfort. Yeah. And so that plan is far advanced. NWA would have visited, they came, they did their initial work. We're looking at putting some additional stoplights in and around the town, improve some of those roads on the fringes of the town, so that we will be able to have good habitable roads once the main street is reverted back to the one-way. Part of my proposal, which I would have, before I became mayor, I would have been pushing. You can't have a town, and your town, the traffic goes out of your town. But the person, if you are coming from Kingston, you're not sure how to get into the center of Maypen town, and that's where your business, the center of your business district. Yeah. So my proposal is, if you come off the highway at Glenmere and you come to the stoplight at the end of Glenmere Road, you must be able to make a right turn, and that take you straight to the center of the town, whether to the courthouse, whether to the municipal corporation, or your the revenue department.
Yes.
So that is one of the new proposals we have to be implemented shortly.
Hold on, Mayor, if I am coming from Kingston on the highway, I can't make that right turn at the roundabout and come on the bridge. That bridge by the railway and come into Brooklyn. I can't.
You can do. Yes, you can do that.
Yes.
You can do that, but you possibly ended up in a traffic of half an hour before you can get into the center of the town.
Oh,
that's how bad the traffic situation is.
Yes.
And if you come off from Glenmere Road, exit from the Glenmere Road entrance, you end up with the same situation. But when you come to the stoplight,
yes,
and when you come to Guinea Tree, you can't make it straight up into the town.
Oh.
You have to make a left turn on Chapelton Road.
Yes.
And if you're not sure how to navigate your way back into the center of the town, you could get lost.
Okay, all right.
So I want to cut out all of that nuances there that exist there. Yes. So you come into the town, or if you come into Mayfair, into Glenmere Road, you just drive straight into the center of the town.
Okay. And so you have that on your agenda for this year?
That is on the agenda for implementation.
And how are the roads? How are what's the condition of the roads in and around?
In and around the town, the rains that we had last year would have created some issues for us. But thank God for the program that is now being rolled out by the government. We have a number of roads now, as I speak to you, that are under repairs. If you come in from Palmer's Cross along the Paisley corridor, that is now being repaired. Okay. If you come off the highway and come to Mineralites,
yes,
that is now under repair. If you're coming from the toll gate or husband store and you're coming via the corridor of Denby there, coming into Denby along the corridor past the hospital, that is now under repair. So we just 2 days ago, they have done several meters of the Chapelton Road corridor. So yes, we are doing a lot of road at the moment through Reach.
Yes.
Improving those corridors.
Okay, yeah. Now, Mayor, one of the issues talking to parish councillors around the country, one of the issues that came up is that the resources available to parish councillors are not able to meet the demands of their constituents and the demands of their division.
Yeah.
Yes. No.
That is so to a point, yes, because you and I know, even at central government level, you will never have the kind of resources that you need, because the kind of amount of work that you have out there that needs to be done, you don't have all that resources in one financial year.
Yes.
But at the moment we do have something that we can work with, and I want to say thanks to the Minister of Local Government, who had made that some allocation available to councillors that we did not have before. I've been in the council for years, 31 years now.
Yes.
I hit this game of politics. Remember, as a little boy, you were at, I think it was TVJ, at one of those radio stations.
Yes.
Right. So I've been in there pretty long, and I remember the days when all councillors would have received visa traveling. They didn't have anything at their disposal to fix a road or to patch a road. Now we have, through 22 of us are in the Clarendon Municipal Corporation, and on a rotating basis, each of us get 3.5 million. Plus we have other resources for patching, debushing, drain cleaning. Those we never had before. So while yes, it is not enough, we are giving thanks. I am giving thanks for small muscles because I remember those days when we didn't have anything.
Yes.
But we have to work with what we have, and all you have to do is to make sure that you communicate with your persons you represent, and I'm pretty sure that they will understand that the fact is that you don't have it the way you want it, but you spread whatever little you have and do the best you can do with it.
Okay. I observe that there is some turbulence in the council, though, at the moment, because
I
see I think it's 2 meetings that were disrupted.
Yes.
So, what is being done to make the?
We would have had some challenges, as you are aware, because we are now 11-11.
Yes.
But the council, the local government act speak to the situation that now exists. If in March of last year, when I became the mayor, if it was 11-11 then the People's National Party would have had the choice of naming the mayor.
Yes.
It was 12-10 then, right? So I became the mayor, and also the deputy mayor falls within the 12-10 situation at the time. Since we have the by-election, it became 11-11.
Yes.
But it is the general election of council that counts, not the by-election, according to the Local Government Act. So my opponent want to shift the balance, which is not can't be done, because they have to speak to how the matter ought to be dealt with.
Yes.
So you can only have one or two things to shift that balance of power right now. It's either somebody moves from the JLP to the PNP or somebody dies. And even if somebody died, then it means that the deputy mayor would move up to become the mayor.
Yeah.
So that's what. But I am reaching out to my colleague and to look how we can possibly accommodate them to chair a few committees.
Yes.
And see how we can find common ground and in order to keep the business of the people moving.
Yes, sir. Yes, because that is supposed to be the main interest, the interest.
Yes, that should be paramount over every other things, issues. Yeah.
The people elected you people.
Exactly.
Yes.
Right. So.
Yes.
Right.
Then may I also see that I know that you have been the anointed one to replace Mr. Mike Henry as Member of Parliament. I am not the only person who has that view at all. But
I would know. Go ahead.
You don't agree with that you are the anointed one?
I don't want to use the word anointed. I have worked hard, long and hard for. Anointed is somebody who just gets something and they didn't do anything for it. I was here when the constituency was known to be a solid PNP constituency. I was born and grown in Maypen, and I worked assiduously hard even before I became involved in the representational politics. I was a member of then little youngster then involved in the youth movement, and I continue to work with the present Member of Parliament.
Yes.
And if he sees it fit that he thinks that I'm capable enough to carry, a matter of fact, I would say to you, the last 3 elections, I ran them. Mike just sat back and I was the one who ran the last 3 elections, more so the last 2. The responsibility, I became chairman for the constituency, and I continue to carry the responsibility politically of the constituency and working very closely with him. So is that I'm not capable, and I don't have the ability, and I don't have the support. I heard persons making some pronouncements about support, but I said to you, Desmond, you will see in short order, because I'm not a political novice. And you will see in short order where support lies.
Okay, because I see we are the former mayor of the corporate area is going for the seat too. Yes. And I don't know. I heard some comments that that the people that don't want.
Yes. I just said to you, in short order, you will be able to prove that for yourself.
Okay.
I won't tell you what my strategy is, but you will see in short order.
Okay.
Whether or not what they say is so or not.
Okay.
If people don't want me, I can't be serving for 5 terms and almost 31 years in the line of municipal council.
Yes.
I must be doing something right.
I would say that too.
So I just debunked that argument.
Yeah.
I just debunked that argument. Yeah. So I don't have time to waste on people making some comment that is stupid.
Yes. So what, in other words, what you are looking at this year, you intend to step up?
Well, I tell you something, Desmond, because you're a watcher of politics. Central Clarendon has never ever dropped its our ability to continue to keep our organization in place.
Yes.
Our organization is always strong and healthy.
Yes.
Even when at other levels the party is not doing as well as we should do, Central Clarendon is always at the top of their game. And that's one of the things I must commend Lester Michael Henry for. And he had taught us that your organization in your constituency is what makes you stay in power.
Yes. Okay.
You're going to have persons who feel that they are not getting what they want, and they will sell you out. But that's how life is. They sell out Jesus Christ too. His disciples. So those things don't bother me. I just want to make sure I stay focused in terms of what I have to do.
Okay. Yes. And the other thing I'm going to ask you about is Clarendon generally, but in Maypen, how is the crime problem?
Well, I must not word to say for the first time in 13 years, we came below the figure we had last year. We had done well. We had 69 murder last year. The year before, I think it was 70, and the year before it was way above that. But we are doing pretty well. I must commend the police, who have been doing a fantastic job. We had 2 previous SSP would have set the tone. That's SSP Miller, SSP Russell, and now the new SSP that we had would have taken the baton and has carried on well. And I want to publicly say congrats to all the foot soldiers in Maypen. And when I say foot soldiers, I mean the police officers. I want to say thanks to those communities that continues to give them the support that is necessary, because Desmond, I want Maypen to become the kind of community that people want to remain, people want to stay. Maypen is a vibrant and nice community, and we want to have it remain. We don't want crime to turn our town upside down, or to turn our community upside down. We want a community where the resident can feel comfortable, and if I may say, keep their windows open when night is too hot. you know. So yes, we are doing well, and I hope that this year, 2025, we will improve on where we left off in 2024.
Yes. Okay. That's a good suggestion, Mayor. Well,
Yeah.
yes. So then, what are your final words? Then, what you want to say to the people of Mapen and the
Well, two things. One of the program that I have on my agenda for this year is the fact that Mapen has really no green area, and we have the Herb McKinley Stadium that Mike has started, and that was in honor of the late Herb McKinley. And just on the outskirts of that, which is across from Glenmere High School,
yes,
we have probably a 20-acre property there we call Hazeldean, or some people called it the Country Club. And we looked yesterday, we did a visit there, we're looking at identifying the funds to build that area out into a beautiful green space, a park,
yes,
for the people of Mapen and possibly by people of Clarendon.
Yes.
Because whatever we do is not just for Mapen, it's for Clarendon.
Yes.
And I'm hoping that before the end of this year, when you come to Mapen, you will see something emerging that is going to even look much better than the Emancipation Park.
Okay, all right, okay. That is good. That is good, Mayor.
Yes,
well,
yes.
I want to thank you, and Rebel Radio want to wish you all the best for the 25.
Yes.
Take care of yourself, and thanks for want you to know that you will be called again, because what we are doing at Rebel Radio, we are talking to the parish councillors, because we know.
Right.
We know that they are the first responders, you know.
Yes.
We want to keep.
And
yes.
Right. And thank you for having me too.
Yes, sir.
And for giving me the time to explain to you what Mapen is about now and where we are going.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mayor Williams.
Thank you for having me, and thank you, listeners, for listening.
Okay. Yes, that
Bless
was Mayor of Mapen, Councillor Joel Williams, and you heard him telling us what he has for this year for the town of Mapen. Yes. So let us see how things are going to work out in Mapen, and as you know, there are some political issues there, and he has indicated that he's working with his colleagues to make the situation workable for the councillors and for the people. Business can be continued, can be done. Let us go for a break. This is Rebel Radio.
Professionals and contractors, this is the sale for you. Lumber, steel, dress and form ply, water tanks, pumps, PVC pipes and fittings, toilets, bathtubs, vanities and basins, windows, paint, doors, floor and wall tiles, thin sets and grout. Up to 20% off selected items. 195 Hagleyburg Road. Telephone 923-4560. New budget supplies. Always the best prices.
This Friday at 4:30 p.m., join me for a brand new episode of the Big Bite Food Safety Show, we're diving into an important conversation about the legacy of colonialism and its impact on our nutrition today. From the rise of processed foods to the challenges of balancing traditional diets with modern eating habits, we're exploring how history still shapes what we eat and how we feed our children. Did you know that Caribbean children face rising rates of obesity while also suffering from malnutrition? We're bringing you solutions like government programs, local food initiatives, and tips on integrating nutrient-rich foods into your family's diet. Let's take a bite.
It's Tools Hardware Supplies New Year Renovation Mega Sale!
For the whole month of January!
Get unbeatable prices
On porcelain, ceramic tiles, windows, doors, paints, and more!
top quality products to renovate your bathroom, kitchen, and living room with exciting new arrivals!
Don't wanna wait! Shop now! Happy New Year from Tools! So, come visit us at 279 Spanish Town Road, 4 South Camp Road, 8 Red Hills Road,
Or online at toolsday.com.
Tools!
The Lion King of Heart here.
Can't even walk, without you holding my hand. I thought number one would surely be me. I thought I could be what I wanted to be. I thought of myself as a mighty big man, but I can't even walk without you holding my hand. Thank you, Jesus. Can't even walk without you holding my hand. Oh, Lord. Mountains too high and the valleys too wide. Down on my knees, I've learned to stay. That I can't even walk without you holding my hand. Help me, Jesus. Ah, yeah, yeah. Oh, Lord, yeah. Ooh-wee. Oh, yeah. I thank God I made Jesus my one and all. From now on this day, I'm surely gonna call. And if I don't trust it, I'd be less than a man. 'Cause I can't even walk without you holding my hand. Oh Lord, can't even walk without you holding my hand. Mountains too high and the valleys too wide. Down on my knees, I've learned to stay. Can't even walk without you holding my hand. Thank you, Jesus, for all you have done for me right now. You've been so good to me. I thought number one would surely be me. I thought I could be what I wanted to be. I thought of myself as a mighty big man, but I can't even walk without you holding my hand. Like me, Father, can't even walk without you holding my hand. sorrows, questions for tomorrow. There's been time I didn't know right from wrong, but in every situation, God gave me consolation that my trials come to make me strong. Through it all, I've learned to trust in Jesus. I've learned to trust in God. Through it all, I've learned to depend upon His words. I've been to lots of places, seen so many faces. There were times I felt so all alone, but in my lonely hours, those special hours, Jesus let me know that I am His own. Through it all, I've learned to trust in Jesus. I've learned to trust in God. Through it all, I've learned to depend upon His words. I thank God for the mountains, thank Him for the valleys, thank Him for the storms He brought me through. 'Cause if I didn't have problems, I wouldn't know that God could solve them. I wouldn't know what faith in God could do. Through it all, I've learned to trust in Jesus. I've learned to trust in God. Through it all, I've learned to depend upon His word. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I'll fear no evil, for thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff that comfort me. Though the wicked will come upon me to eat up my flesh, they will stumble and fall. Through it all, I've learned to trust in Jesus. I've learned to put my trust in God. Through it all, I've learned to depend upon His word. Through it all, I've learned to trust in Jesus. I've learned to put my trust in God. Through it all, I've learned to depend upon His word. Lord, I'm ready. Lord, I'm ready. I'm ready. Lord, I'm ready for your call. I know you will let me when I'm falling. With all the obstacles that's in my way, you move them all away. Lord, I'm ready for your call. I know you will let me when I'm falling. When all the obstacles that's in my way, that's where I got to be. To stay within your grace for the rest of my day. Lord, I'm ready for your calling. I know you will let me when I'm falling. With all the obstacles that's in my way, you move them all away. Lord, I'm ready for your calling. I know you will let me when I'm falling. With all the obstacles that's in my way, oh gosh, you move them all away. Lord, I turn to you when I'm in need. Your love is just like the air I breathe. Heavenly Father, you're truly a friend indeed. There is so much that I got to say. I could go on about you every day. Your name I will always praise for the rest of my days. Rest of my days. Rest of my days. Heavenly Father, yeah. Lord, I'm ready for your calling. I know you will let me when I'm falling. With all the obstacles that's in my way, you move them all away. Lord, I'm ready for your calling. I know you will let me when I'm falling. With all the obstacles that's in my way, you move them all away. Your grace is all that carries me. Through the dark you shine your light so I could see. Even when I was down on my knees, you set me free there. Lord, you bring my shield from my enemies. In your loving arms, that's where I got to be. To stay within your grace for the rest of my day. Lord, I'm ready for your calling. I know you will let me when I'm falling. With all the obstacles that's in my way, you move them all away. Lord, I'm ready for your calling. I know you will let me when I'm falling. With all the obstacles that's in my way, you move them all away. What is to be will be. Come me just a come. Come me just a come and me no want no botheration. Come me just a come. Come me just a come.
Yes, welcome back to Rebel Radio. Yes, the radio of the future. And right now we have with us Jamaican American. Yes, Brother Williams, you know. Willie is one of those Jamaicans who, member of the diaspora, who we keep in touch with, for him to tell us what is happening. And, you know, a lot of Jamaicans are anxious right now. With a couple of days from now, President Trump will be back in the White House. And he made some promises on his campaign trail, especially when it comes on to immigrants. Hello, Valentine, how are you today?
Very good, sir.
Yes, sir.
And I will wish all of your listeners a happy new year for having spoken with you from last year.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes.
Now, you know, the President Trump will be sworn in a couple of days. And you know that during his campaign trail, he made a lot of assertions, a lot of promises about immigrants. What are you picking up?
Yes, but before I go into that, when he's trained, he'll create history by becoming the first president to be as a convicted felon.
Yes.
Yep, felon, to hold that office. Well, and the immigration part now, I tell you what, everybody is people who I used to speak with. I can't hardly get anything from them now about the issue of immigration.
Yes.
Because they too are scared, yes. I said, what you scared of? You have a country. Did you throw stone there on you? When you left Jamaica, which island you're from? Because what the Trump is saying, people, citizens who born here and their parents weren't a citizen are not American.
Yeah?
Yes. But the Constitution says as long as you are born here, you are a citizen.
Yes.
So
how is he going to change that?
That's going to be a problem. You have to change the Constitution, and that's going to be a problem. Yes, he's saying that.
Yes.
So as we know, people from all over the world usually come here, women pregnant and have their kids here, and after a few months they get the documents and stuff. They go back to their country. They call it drive-through citizen. Right? That is one. If it was that well, that I could see with something like that. Say you're going to stop that. But people who are living here, looking after about their documents and stuff and thing, and become pregnant or have a child and thing, he is saying they are not qualified to be a citizen. And those who naturalize, they are going to look through their papers with a fine teeth comb to see if they make any little mistake, did not, cross the T or dot the I. And the application form. They're going to revoke those citizenship too.
Okay. So a lot of people are anxious, Valentine.
A lot of people are very anxious to see what he's going to do. I heard that he have a lot of things that he going to do on day one and stuff, but it's not going to happen. This big deportation thing, he will get a few, but it's not going to work.
Yes.
And it's going to take time. 4 years alone cannot do it. So people are very scared.
Yes.
Very scared. People who are some of them I thought they'd have a backbone, but some of them, they don't. They don't.
Yes.
No?
Last year, last year, one of the things I picked up, and cost of living in America was going up. Well, it's high. The cost of food and services. How is that now?
Yes. Same way.
Yeah?
There's no change. There's no. When you go to the supermarket now, you spend $300-$400 and you can carry the stuff with your hand. Them four scandal bag.
Yes.
4 scandal bag. That's it. It's very expensive. Yes. It's very expensive.
Yes.
I see 3 pieces of oxtail. 3 pieces of oxtail for over $35.
$35?
Yes.
For oxtail?
This warehouse place. Oxtail.
What? Why oxtail is so expensive? That is why it is so expensive in Jamaica.
Yes, oxtail is more expensive more in the fine cut of a beef or anything.
Boy.
That is the number one. That is the number one thing, no? Oxtail.
Yeah?
Yes.
Boy. So.
Yes, very expensive.
So you
the thing is, a lot of people is catching on to the Jamaican dishes now. You know, so it's more. They make it more, expensive. These Jamaican dishes, the curry goat and the oxtail but the oxtail is going flying off the roof. Yes.
Boy.
We Jamaicans can hardly afford oxtail now again. No. We cannot. Too much. It's become the top thing for the rich and the famous now.
What the saying? And what about rent? That is going up too?
Yes, very much, very much. A lot of people leaving out the big cities, them and going, Georgia and those places. So what they're paying for rent here is 2 months mortgage down there.
Yes.
Yes. You can get a two bedroom for under $2,500.
That is what $2,500 per week or month.
I'm talking about in the.
That is $2,500 per week or month.
Per month.
Okay.
In the ghetto, not in the ghetto part.
Yes.
It's very much.
And then wages are not going up. Wages remain stable.
Yes, and in the coming year, it's going to be worse. It's going to be worse when this guy gets in there. He's going to cut everything. Everything is going to cut. Medical, everything, school, in every. The only thing that is not going to cut is the raise, is the tax. There will be no tax on the rich.
Will be no tax on what?
And the rich people.
Yes.
The 1%. Yes. Tax will be on the poor people. They will still have to pay their tax or more too. But they're going to cut the tax for the billionaires them.
Yes.
And the service for Elon Musk is going to be in charge of a department there, they say. He's a cutter. He's going to cut things. And they ought to do away with the ministry of what we call education and all that thing. And I heard they talking about Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid, the health facilities, them, and a lot of things is going to cut. So we got to see. We got to see how that goes.
Yes, sir.
But I know this Social Security, cutting Social Security, it's going to hurt everybody.
Yes.
Whether you're MAGA support or whatever support, whatever political party support, it's going to hurt everybody. So that's going to be a big one. If they really try to touch that, it's going to cause problem.
Okay.
Then again, he promised any problem he's going to call out the military. He's threatening the people with military action. And he's putting people in that, in charge to do and follow his order. And they are going to confirm too. All of those people who we see he nominated for the head of these secretaries and this place there, they are going to confirm.
Yes, because he
They're
controls the House and the Senate.
Right. And he's now, what he's doing now is, the civil servant them is they're going after them and seeking out if they're going to be loyal to him. The question here, if you're going to be loyal.
So you have to be loyal. What is he saying? That civil servants will have to be loyal to him?
Yes, not the Constitution or anything or whatever.
Yeah.
And all those who is picking up, who is speaking in his cabinet,
yes,
are loyalists.
Right.
Loyalists. And not qualified either. They are not qualified.
Yes.
First term, you have some qualified people. You pick some qualified people in the first term, but when they disagree with him, he get rid of them. If you remember, like the Attorney General session and those. Even Bill Barr, who was loyal to him, and then he simply say, well, he lost the election. He fired him, as he say that. He fired Bill Barr. So if you're loyal to him, not the Constitution, him, you're gone. And all those who is nominated to the offices are loyal to him.
Yes.
They are supporters who went to the Capitol on January 6th when he sent there to demonstrate and attack the Capitol. A lot of them are appointed ambassadors, and even this guy, the defense secretary that he nominated here, he was there at the Capitol too.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's what. He's loyal to his supporters. He'll give them position.
Okay.
Yes, that's what he's doing. He don't care about the Constitution or anything. When he tell you to do, you must do it.
Well, let us watch and see what is going to happen with Valentine. Let us keep our eyes on that. I want to thank you very much for your time, and Rebel Radio is your platform. So let us say to be continued. Thank you.
To be continued, sir.
All right.
Right.
Yes, sir. That was our friend, supporter there, Valentine Williams, telling us what is happening in United States. Let us take a break.
It's the Everybody Sale at New Budget Supplies. Do-it-yourself professionals and contractors. This is the sale for you. Lumber, steel, dress and form ply, water tanks, pumps, PVC pipes and fittings, toilets, bathtubs, vanities and basins, windows, paint, doors, floor and wall tiles, thin sets and grout. Up to 20% off selected items. 195 Hagleypark Road. Telephone 923-4560. New Budget Supplies. Always the best prices.
This Friday at 4:30 p.m., join me for a brand new episode of the Big Bite Food Safety Show. We're diving into an important conversation about the legacy of colonialism and its impact on our nutrition today. From the rise of processed foods to the challenges of balancing traditional diets with modern eating habits, we're exploring how history still shapes what we eat and how we feed our children. Did you know that Caribbean children face rising rates of obesity while also suffering from malnutrition? We're bringing you solutions like government programs, local food initiatives, and tips on integrating nutrient-rich foods into your family's diet. Let's take a bite.
It's Tools, Hardware and Supplies New Year Renovation Mega Sale.
For the whole month of January.
Get unbeatable prices
On porcelain, ceramic tiles, windows, doors, paints, and more.
top quality products to renovate your bathroom, kitchen, and living room with exciting new arrivals.
Don't bother wait. Shop now. Happy New Year from Tools. So come visit us at 279 Spanish Town Road, 4 South Camp Road, 8 Red Hills Road,
Or online at toolsja.com.
Tools.
The Lion King of Hardware.
All things are possible if you only believe. Sitting at home all alone, wondering what tomorrow may bring. He of little faith, dig deeper within. Healing the sick, he raised the dead, he walked on the sea. He worked miracles if you only believe. Only believe, only believe. All things are possible if you only believe. Only believe, only believe. All things are possible if you only believe. Lord, show me the way to do your will, and I will obey. I want to be your servant. On my knees, I pray. Lord, give me strength to carry on. Please lead the way, because I believe. Yes, I believe. Oh, I believe that all things are possible if you only believe. Only believe. Only believe. All things are possible.
Yes, welcome back. It's time for food security. Yes. And you know, this is where we spend time to look at our agricultural sector. What is being done to ensure that we're able to feed ourselves. Yes, and we have with us Mr. Johan Clue, farmer. Yes, he is one of the members of the Small Ruminants Association. He's a goat farmer. Good evening, Mr. Clue.
Good evening, Mr. Richards and all the listeners.
Yes, sir. So, what do you see for this year for the small, for goat farmers? What, by the way, before you, how would you describe last year for as a goat farmer? How you would describe last year?
Well, in a nutshell, I'll describe last year as a learning and a teaching moment for most farmers.
Yes.
Yeah, because we had to deal with a lot of issues, be it production-wise, marketing, all those other aspects of the business. Mm-hmm. So For me personally, I've seen where a few new farmers have joined some of the groups that I'm a part of, seeking advice. So, yeah, new persons coming in, taking use of the network that have been created over the years.
Yeah.
So, the sector looks promising, but we still have our issues. But I am confident that in subsequent years we can fix a few of the problems. What I'm liking also is that the farmers are seeing the value of networking and sharing information, because one farmer cannot do all that is needed for the sector. So if all of us win, then all of us will win. Okay. The sector would definitely appreciate that.
Yes. You are one of the things that is good for our one of the positive things about goat rearing in Jamaica is that there is a market for mutton. There's a market for the product in Jamaica, both the meat and the milk. So this is one product that I would say that the farmers, all the farmers must look at is how they can increase and sustain production. Do you agree with that?
Yes, definitely, man. Definitely, I agree with that. Mm-hmm. And there's also the emerging of the value-added products for both meat and milk.
Yes.
Because you have special cuts of meat that some persons are slowly venturing into. Mm-hmm. The value-added from the milk, be it that the soaps, lotions, and all those, even condensed milk and some other stuff. Because the farmers are getting more creative, and due to the fact of the feed cost being so high, they are more, and you can raise the price of your product so much and no more, because the higher the product, you're kind of leaning to where it is not profitable anymore.
Yeah, you can't make the product unaffordable.
Yes, so what I see some farmers doing is to combat the raising of the price so high is going into value-added products where the products kind of offset some of the cost, and kind of using the farm, the whole production of the farm and everything,
yes,
to create multiple streams of income to offset the cost of production itself.
Yes, that is a good sign. So, and you spoke about the cost of feeding. Now, when I spoke to the president and you too many farmers are feeding their goats on imported grains, and I don't think that is the right food for the goats. So this year, from where I sit, I think the farmers will have to start looking at how they can produce grass to feed their animals. What is your take on that?
In terms of grass, I don't really think grass production in and of itself is the problem. I think it's the quality of the grass for one, and the volume, because almost everywhere you go, you see grass. Almost every vacant lot has grass on it. But it's all about the nutritional content of the said grass, the volume, because in terms of the number that I see some farmers are aiming for, in doing the calculation of the dry matter and the feed intake of the goats per acre land and all that, in some cases, to really achieve what the farmer wants, they need upwards. They need probably about 20 acres. In some cases, more. However, you have some grass that give a high yield, so you have less space and you're still producing roughly what you need.
Yes.
And in a case where you don't have the space, but you have a high yielding grass, you can mix it, because there are ways how you mix the grass with other forages to kind of reach to the same nutritional level that you want for the particular animal at the particular growth stage.
Yes.
So there are ways and means of achieving what the individual farmer wants. Is just about putting in the work. And work. What I mean by work is the vision, because it's not about just getting up and planting any grass you see available and just say, all right, I'm going to feed my animals this because goat eat this. If you're trying to increase, and which is a thing that every farmer should be looking at right now, because we need the numbers. The feed definitely is going to be a big issue. And a farmer has to look and say, all right, if I'm going to feed, say, 200 or 300 goats, I need to be hitting this target, or it doesn't make sense, because yes, you can get the 200 and 300 goats, but having 300 and 200 maga goat don't make no sense.
Yeah.
So it's an overall holistic approach to this whole entire business.
Yes.
Because some farmers have the number, but when it comes to drought period, you always see farmers selling out and scaling down. And then as soon as rain start to fall again and things, you see them pick up back. It's a trend that goes on for a good number of years now. I've seen that trend where times like this now, like in the January now going down, you always see a lot of farmers selling out and scaling down.
Yeah.
And when it gets back to like spring again, going up, you see them scale back up, because they cannot feed the amount of goats that they have. And some parishes get hit harder with drought than others.
Yes.
And I'm not seeing where the said farmers in the various regions are looking at the pattern and seeing and say, all right, by the time Christmas is over, I need to have this amount of feed to carry me through or carry me as close as possible to spring, and vice versa.
Yes.
Because some persons, their problem is closer to spring, and some persons' problem is closer to summer, because each general vicinity is a bit different. But it's roughly the same issue.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
And some regions have longer time in drought than others.
Okay. Well, hold on. I want you to just hold it. You want to hold it? Let me try and get some of your colleague. Just hold it there for me. We are on food security. Just let us try and find Mr. Mark Campbell of the Egg Farmers Association. Yes. We're trying to... Mr. Campbell?
I was in the bank, still in the bank, but I'm leaving now.
All right, so you can join me now?
Give me 10 minutes now. Possible?
All right, I will call you back.
Yeah, just 10.
All right, okay. Yes, we are, as I said, trying to source some other players who are supposed to join us. Let me try Mr. Oliphant to see if he's there. Mr. Oliphant.
8. After the tone, when you're finished.
Okay, not there. Yes, back with you, Johan. We're not getting through to your colleagues. Yes, so you are saying that the situation that we are faced with now is that the farmers. But so Johan, if one of the from where you sit, how can the farm? What can be done? I mean, for farmers, what to produce more foil, more feed for their animals. What are some of the steps that can be taken?
All right. So far, the proposed solutions I've seen so far is the individual farmers take it upon themselves and either find the land or use whatever existing land that they have and plant forages for the times that they're needed. Rather than some other agencies have put out trainings in forage conservation method, and I've seen some farmers who use it from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
However, one of the major push I have seen, but it's mainly on the idea stage still. It's mainly in the idea stage where they are looking to get the feed companies involved and have them set up the needed infrastructure and get the forages planted, get the necessary soil tests and stuff done, so as to get the nutrient profiles standardized and all that. And the major feed company using their existing networks to get it to the farmers. However, that is, as I said, is more of an idea type of thing. I haven't seen any much movement in terms of that. But I have to make mention of Dr. Denny, a nutritionist that I've seen in recent time really taking the initiative of creating a company specifically for forage conservation and making it readily available to the farmers. She's doing sorghum.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, she's making sorghum silage, making it available to the farmers. The company covers a few other areas because she provides a tractor service and also tips and stuff for the farmers in terms of nutritional requirements and a few other services around that. But if, in my opinion, if there are more companies similar to that, not necessarily have to be doing sorghum, they can be doing king grass or whatever. But it's all about getting more readily available forages in stores and shelves if that is necessary, and get it to the farmers. The individual farmers will eventually catch on, and I've seen cases where you have individuals who are supplying hay. They're making their manual hay balers and making it available. That's going like crazy. The hay operations that I've seen, they are constantly sold out. Constantly sold out. So once the hay is available, within a week, most times less, it's all sold off because the farmers need it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially for farmers who practice a zero grazing system. So they definitely need it. Some farmers buy them by the hundreds. And in terms of pricing, what I'm seeing is on average, you're looking at about $1,000 to about $1,500 for a bale of hay.
Mm-hmm.
In most times, I think it's Angola grass for the most part. And yeah, so it's about $1,000 to $1,500 per bale. Each bale is on average about 40 40 pounds. And some farmers buy them by 100.
Okay.
Yeah, so...
When you buy that, you store it?
Yes, because the hay is dried grass. So it as long as you keep it dry and away from draft and moisture, it basically preserves itself. So farmers tend to go for that. It has functional benefit for the animal because it helps, because the grass is dried and stuff. It helps clean the digestive tract. The grass is by right should be harvested at a time where it's most nutritious, because the idea is that when you harvest the grass at its most nutritious stage, when it's being dried is quote unquote like the nutrients is freezed at that point. But if grass is dried, it still retains that nutritional value. It just doesn't have as much water in it. Because as much animal we eat the fresh feed, the high water content over a period of time poses a problem. So having a little bit of dry and a little bit of fresh interchangeably kind of helps.
Oh, the imported feed, when the animal eat that, they drink a lot of water.
In some cases, yes.
And you are saying too much water is not good for the animals?
Not necessarily too much water. Is more on the side where, because the water is in the forage, the nutrients, the nutritional levels are being affected. So over time, if the feed is dried, less water in it, you have more dry matter, which is available to the animal, which is what the animal really needs. The dry matter and protein and all those things, that's what the animal really needs. They get water from other sources, but that's not really the main issue. It's really the nutrient profile of the whichever forage you use it. Hence why they tend to go to hay mostly in cases.
So you're saying that there are some farmers, there are some farms that are producing hay right now?
Yes. Most part they produce hay and supply what they have. It's not this where it's a full-on large-scale operation doing it right throughout the year. It's just when they...
Oh, I see. So, for example, farmers with land then, access to land,
yes,
could plant some of those that hay?
Yeah, they could. And some persons are looking into doing it. But planting the grass is part of the whole issue. The main issue is the nutrient profile of the grass. That is always the main issue. Because if you eat trash, it's just trash.
Yes.
So that is the main issue of the whole entire thing. It's not just say plant grass because we need grass. It's all about nutrient profile of the grass. So as I said before, there are many lots and places that already have grass. Those grass can be used. There is no one specific grass that's just quote unquote the best grass, and every other else grass don't make no sense. That's not the case. The case is always the nutrients. So if you want certain, because for some animals they require certain high level of nutrients at certain different developmental stages. So if you can get your grass to meet that, then you use it. That's the basis of the entire thing. Instead of getting a particular grass, then you have to plow up your land and then plant it and water it and do all of that and then wait on the grass to mature to cut it. It adds some time to the production. But if you have a land already,
yes,
and grass on it already, you do your soil test, you try to get a nutrient profile done on the grass, see where the grass is and where you want it to be. And then you fertilize the grass, water it, and you use it.
Okay.
That cuts down on the production time and all that. But you was farmer.
Yes. Okay. And the getting the quality. I mean, from the with animals now, getting the quality animals for productive purposes. That is not an issue. Is that an issue? In other words, is that available, readily available for farmers to get the animals and affordable for them at prices which are affordable for them?
So in terms of the genetic part of it, that's up for some amount of debate because it all depends on the route a farmer chooses to take. For most persons, what they would prefer is to have a live animal on the farm with the required genetics that they want to use for the herd.
Mm-hmm.
If you go that way is costly. Because if you're going, say you want to get the imported goats are a bit costly. But however, what has been happening for a very long time is artificial insemination. If you go artificial insemination, it's still gonna cost you, but it might be cheaper in some cases than buying the live animals, the live imported animals. In some cases, it might be cheaper. And the problem with artificial insemination is that it's not 100%. You can inseminate the animal and it's basically a waste of time because the animal didn't get pregnant. But in the cases that it does happen, it's basically works out to be the same thing as having the live animal because you want an animal to impregnate the females that you have.
Mm-hmm.
With artificial insemination, is just bringing the semen versus having the live animal.
Yeah. So
in that aspect, it works out to be the same.
Mm-hmm.
So in terms of affordability, it will greatly depend on the individual farmer.
Okay.
But in terms of prices, in general, to buy these new imported animals, it's a pretty penny.
Yeah. All right, I tell you what, hold it there. Let us take a break. This is Rebel Radio. Let us go for a break.
It's the Everybody Sale at New Budget Supplies. Do-it-yourself professionals and contractors. This is the sale for you. Lumber, steel, dress and form ply, water tanks, pumps, PVC pipes and fittings, toilets, bathtubs, vanities and basins, windows, paint, doors, floor and wall tiles, thin sets and grout. Up to 20% off selected items. 195 Hagleyburg Road. Telephone 923-4560. New Budget Supplies. Always the best prices.
This Friday at 4:30 p.m., join me for a brand new episode of the Big Bite Food Safety Show. We're diving into an important conversation about the legacy of colonialism and its impact on our nutrition today. From the rise of processed foods to the challenges of balancing traditional diets with modern eating habits, we're exploring how history still shapes what we eat and how we feed our children. Did you know that Caribbean children face rising rates of obesity while also suffering from malnutrition? we're bringing you solutions like government programs, local food initiatives, and tips on integrating nutrient-rich foods into your family's diet. Let's take a bite.
It's Tools Hardware Supplies New Year Renovation Mega Sale!
For the whole month of January!
Get unbeatable prices
on porcelain, ceramic tiles, windows, doors, paints, and more!
Top quality products to renovate your bathroom, kitchen, and living room with exciting new arrivals!
Don't wanna wait! Shop now! Happy New Year from Tools! So, come visit us at 279 Spanish Town Road, 4 South Camp Road, 8 Red Hills Road,
or online at toolsja.com.
Tools!
The Lion King of Hearts.
Welcome back, yes, to Rebel Radio. Yes, and we are on food security. And we have with us now the Mr. Mark Campbell, President of the Egg Growers Association, and also JAS official, Mr. Oliphant Jones, who is also a counselor. Welcome, Mr. Jones. Welcome, Mr. Campbell.
Yes, welcome.
Yes.
Mr. Richards, Mr. Campbell, welcome.
Yeah.
Jones Oliphant.
Yes. Mr. Campbell, we also have with us Mr. Johan Clue. He was on before. Mr. Campbell, this city there was some egg shortage in the Christmas period there. I can well imagine that the impact of the hurricane on the birds, this hampered production. What is the current situation? Mr. Campbell? Hello? Mr. Jones, you are there?
Yes, I'm there. Yes.
Mr. Clue, you are there too?
Yes, I'm here, man. I'm here.
I don't know what happened to Mr. Campbell. Yes. Well, Mr. Jones, with you now, what is happening to the farmers in Manchester?
Well, the farmers in Manchester are challenged.
Yes.
You know, right now we are going into a dry season.
Mm-hmm.
We are going into a dry season.
Yes.
A time when, you know, we don't have much rain. And I can tell you, it will be very challenging on the part of our farmers. Because as you know, coming from the last quarter of last year, it has not been good. We have had a lot of water.
Yes.
And now it seems as if we're going into a situation where water will be scarce.
Where you want water?
Yes, yes.
Yes. So
it's a dry season spell that we're going into now.
So that is going to impact production?
Yes, it's going to impact.
Wow.
As a matter of fact, not only production, but in terms of domestic supply.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know that there are people who, from the domestic standpoint, will have to do something, whether in buying water, trucking water, or whatever it is. But there will be, you know, it seems it's shaping up to be a very dry period.
Mm-hmm. And that, as you said, that is going to present some problems to the farmers.
Yes, it's going to.
Wow.
Because as you know, in this part of the island, we don't have any irrigation system of such.
No. Farmers rely. You mean they have to harvest water for themselves?
Yes, yes. Which has been a age-old practice, a tradition. You know, tanks.
Yes.
But nowadays I notice that tanks are being scarcely built. People are relying on the plastic tanks.
Yes.
But these plastic tanks are not reliable. They last for a period of time, so they contribute for a period of time. But after that, some of them burst and crystallize.
Yes. Yes, yes. Yes,
so it's a great challenge. It's a great challenge.
Yes. So we the farmers in your part there in Manchester is that they had problems last year because of the weather. We know that the farmers in St. Elizabeth and Manchester, they suffered too from beryl, the weather. And you are saying that the weather again is going to impact negatively on their efforts this year.
Yes, it's going to.
Yes. So that is going to have a negative impact on the production of food during the first part of this year too.
Yes, it will be. It will be in Surrey, Chad.
That's not very good news at all. You know, we expect the farmers, to be able to, but as you said, it's not going to work out. Let me see if I get Mr. Campbell.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, all right. Yes, as I was saying, that we had some problems with eggs in December, shortage. So what is the current situation?
Since when you said?
No, I said there was some shortage in December, last December, in Christmas.
The shortage started before that.
Yes. So
the shortage started immediately after Hurricane Beryl. Hurricane Beryl. The birds are unable to deal with stress on their own. Any form of stress that the birds go under, we have to stimulate them by giving additional vitamins and so on. So when the hurricane shook them up, and I'm talking literally now, shook them up, and they cut their production and productivity, we figured that if we did what we have always done when they are under that kind of stress, which was to pump some vitamins on them and that sort of thing, they would have returned to where their production and productivity level would have been before the hurricane. But that never happened. They never returned. There was some amount of recovery, I would say, but it was never at the level. So from October, November, we started to see a tightness in the market. And then it went into a full-blown shortage by December. And now into January, we're really in the midst of a real shortage that I have not seen in my 44 years in the business of producing eggs.
Yes.
Now, here is the picture. Jamaica has on average of 1 million birds in the field at any one time. All over the country you have small, medium, and what you could call large farmers if you're talking about the Jamaican situation here. So you have somebody who will probably have just 20 layers. Another man has 50, another one 100, some 500, some 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, like that. And all of that will add you up at any given time to about 1 million birds.
Yes.
So when the hurricane struck, we would have had, say, 1 million birds in the field. The oldest ones were to have been replaced between September to November, and that would have been about 25% of the national flock that would have been replaced, about 250,000 birds that went in the field. What happened now with the trauma that the birds went through, and the 750 birds that would have gone through that, and whose production and productivity would have fallen and did not return to where they were, the 250, 260 new birds that went in between the end of September to the beginning of November were just not able to compensate in production and productivity for that fall off.
Okay.
And then, of course, this fall off coincided with the peak demand period for eggs, which you referred to earlier, the Christmas period.
Yes.
And then, added to the Christmas period also is the peak time for the hospitality, the tourism business.
Yes.
So the demand is strong and the supply is weak.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as we can see, we are not seeing when we will get out of it, because you have basically 70 to 75% of the national flock now is heading towards what you would call old birds.
Mm-hmm. So they are not producing as much?
They're not producing at the level that would encourage the farmers to keep them for any very, very long time.
Yes.
And the replacement pullets, those pullets are not really there. The good thing, it's not all negative, and I don't want to give the impression that it is all negative. It is not all negative. The good thing is, starting this month, January, some new birds will be going into the field, but I do not know those numbers, but I have been assured by one producer that new birds will start going out in this January month, which is a very good thing.
Yes.
So when the numbers become available to me, I will know whether I can begin to have a level of comfort as to where the supply side will end up over the next few months. At the moment, I am not confident.
Okay.
And I will not make any predictions on it, because since the hurricane, I have made several predictions, all of which have been wrong.
Yes. Yes, yes.
We can hope for the best.
Yeah. And is it that the eggs are smaller? Because I see some small eggs than what
small eggs are that sometimes for those in the business like myself is a good sign, because usually they are produced by the young birds, the new birds, the pullets. And if that is so, it means that their production will increase soon. Their productivity will rise maybe to 90%, and that should put more eggs on the market.
Mm-hmm.
It's the size alone is not a good marker for that. If the shell quality is good, excellent, firm shell, then that could indicate that the bird is a young bird. But if it is small and the shell quality is poor, you're looking at an old bird that can't carry much weight anymore.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
I understand, yes. So what we are seeing now is that we are having a shortage of eggs. And as you say, that new birds are getting into the field now. They will start, probably another 3 months, they will start producing.
No. These birds that are going in the field, they are going in at the point of lay.
Okay.
They are at 18 weeks, and that is when they begin to drop one, and in another, usually by the time they are 24 weeks, which is say 6 weeks, after they are placed in the field, in the laying houses, they should hit top production, 90%.
Okay, all right.
And also, we are not throwing up our hands, you know. We are working very closely with some very excellent technocrats in the ministry. They, along with our partners in the feed, on the feed side and on the pullet side, and ourselves, we are all working together to get a firm hold of the situation. So we're not panicking, and we're not saying it's all a gloomy situation. There is definitely a shortage.
Yes, sir.
But we understand the issues that have brought them on, and all the parties involved are committed, I should say, committed to working our way out of it in the shortest possible time.
Yes, yes. So, Mr. Campbell, from where you sit this year, how do you see this year for the egg farming, for the egg farmers?
Well, the shortage that is here presents an opportunity for a realignment of the price that is received by the producers and what it costs them to produce it. Let us not beat around the bush, Mr. Richards. The fact of the matter is, given the intense nature of the competition between farmers in Jamaica for market and market share, the price of eggs has emerged over the last several years as being the best for the protein producing and marketing section of the country. So eggs at I don't know, before the shortage started, I think eggs were being retailed in the supermarket for maybe somewhere around $500 per dozen, which is an extremely excellent price if you compare with your Caribbean countries, where it is running maybe at $4 US or $5 in some instances. And of course, if you compare with the United States, which is not comparing like and like, their price to the consumer has, in the last few months, I haven't checked that recently, but a few months ago, they were retailing eggs in the United States for as high as $8 and $9 per dozen. So in Jamaica, if you can find a dozen eggs anywhere at, say, about $500, $480, that is extremely excellent. No other protein in the market can compare with that.
Okay.
So we think this difficulty presents an opportunity to the producers to do that realignment of their sale price, their farm gate price, or their delivery price with the reality of their cost of production, which we have not shied away from putting forward to the public, because I think in the last year we had put cost of production in the newspapers at least once. I remember maybe twice that we put cost of production in giving the consumers an opportunity to see what it is costing the producers and the price that they should expect to pay if they are purchasing at the farm gate.
Okay. I see.
Just a question to Mr. Campbell, Mr. Richards, if you permit me.
Yes.
I know that at one stage we reached a good peak in production. Is it that we're only concentrating on the domestic market, or are we thinking of exporting? I am wondering, places like Cayman Island, Turks and Caicos, close to us. Are we developing a market overseas? Yes.
Okay, that's a question. I would not say that we are developing. We have sold to Trinidad and Tobago over the past, I would say, 10 years. We have sold quite a bit of eggs. In the recent past, we have not really been able to do much of that because of our own situation. In regards to the other countries you have named, usually the challenge is that the quantities that they want will not allow it to be a very worthwhile effort, because when we do sell overseas, we like to sell in shipping in a 40-foot container. Sometimes when the countries you have mentioned, and they have made inquiries here in the past couple of years, but they are looking for quantities which will not fill a 40-foot container, and to ship in a smaller container usually costs about the same as the big container. So when you do the costing, it doesn't work out well. What we have tried to do is to see if, in addition to eggs, there could be other products that could be added to the container, so we can then fill a 40-foot container and make it a worthwhile effort.
Oh, you heard Mr. Jones?
Yes, I heard that. Yes, now I see what is what.
Mm-hmm.
But I think though that we have to shift our culture to get back to the days when we export some of our products. I remember the days of the banana, the oranges, and we're doing good with yam, yes, but I think we should look into it, that we should go on a drive definitely to export. What do you think? So, for example, as what he says, a 40-foot container leaving Jamaica, not only with eggs, but it could leave with vegetable, it could leave with fruits and other things, which would make it very profitable. Yes.
Yeah, well, the farmers, that is one area the farmers collectively must look at this year, how to improve production. First of all, to improve production so that we can reduce importation of some food products. We will still have to import some food products, but we must put ourselves in a position to where we produce so that we don't have to, we can reduce the money that we are spending on importation and food, right? And food products. And then, as you say, look at exporting so that we can earn foreign exchange. That is a good idea, and that is an idea that must be pushed. I was talking to Mr. Clue. Mr. Clue, you are still there, right? Hello?
Yes, I'm here, man.
Right. And we were talking about, for example, Mr. Clue is a goat farmer. And one of the things that is available in Jamaica right now, the goat farmers are, they have a market for their product which they are not supplying. So if they can, one of the things for them this year is to see how they can increase production because there's a market for their product, right? So here it is, the egg farmers, they need to increase production right now. The ground provision farmers, they need to do that. This year, I think, is a year that the farmers in Jamaica should look at improving production so that we can satisfy demand and look for a market overseas.
Yes. If I may add, Mr. Richards.
Yes, sir.
If I may add, the egg industry has held a flagship position for the last 20 years where self-sufficiency is concerned. Mm-hmm. You would realize that for the past 20 years, we have not had to import any eggs.
Yes.
And the producers of eggs in Jamaica have really stepped up and put out some high-quality eggs on the market. If you look in the supermarkets, there are some beautiful brands out there, yes, from right across the island. When you go into the supermarket now, compared to 20, 30 years ago, then the eggs used to be just thrown down in a corner where they keep the broom and all that sort of thing. Now they have some lovely brands. The presentation is equal to what both the presentation and the quality would be equal to what you would pick up in any developed country. No, we have done some work to improve our best practices with the Canadian farmers. They have been here and they've had workshops with us. And it has paid off in the quality that you see out there now. Really some nice eggs are on the shelves.
Yes.
And we did not want to lose. When the shortage started, if I go back to it, many people in Jamaica are very import prone, Mm-hmm. They just like the idea of importing. And as soon as the tightness started, there were those who wanted to rush to import. And we had pushed back on that with support from the ministry because we never wanted to lose our position as being self-sufficient in eggs. And we're working, and all the stakeholders, the feed producers, the pullet producers, we're all working to maintain that position. Okay. It's just unfortunate that a number of very negative things have lined up against us, starting first of all with the hurricane, yes, which triggered the whole thing. Yeah. But we're diligently working on it with each day that we have, yes.
Okay. Well, gentlemen, we have come to the end of today's program. But this year is a year that the farmers will, in other words, there are lots of opportunities. I want to thank Mr. Yuan Klu, Mr. Mark Campbell, Mr. Oliphant Jones, and as you know, food security is where we talk about agriculture and talk about ways that we must find to improve production that we are able to feed ourselves. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Until next week, take very good care.
Okay, Mr. Richards, thanks for having me.
All the best.
Yes.
And listeners, thanks for listening to us.
Okay, all right. That was food security. Let's go for a break.
It's the Everybody Sale at New Budget Supplies. Do-it-yourself professionals and contractors. This is the sale for you. Lumber, steel, dress and form ply, water tanks, pumps, PVC pipes and fittings, toilets, bathtubs, vanities and basins, windows, paint, doors, floor and wall tiles, thin sets and grout. Up to 20% off selected items. 195 Hagley Park Road. Telephone 923-4560. New Budget Supplies. Always the best prices.
This Friday at 4:30 p.m., join me for a brand new episode of the Big Bite Food Safety Show. We're diving into an important conversation about the legacy of colonialism and its impact on our nutrition today. From the rise of processed foods to the challenges of balancing traditional diets with modern eating habits, we're exploring how history still shapes what we eat and how we feed our children. Did you know that Caribbean children face rising rates of obesity while also suffering from malnutrition? We're bringing you solutions like government programs, local food initiatives, and tips on integrating nutrient-rich foods into your family's diet. Let's take a bite.
It's Tools Hardware Supplies New Year Renovation Mega Sale!
For the whole month of January!
Get unbeatable prices
on porcelain, ceramic tiles, windows, doors, paints, and more!
Top quality products to renovate your bathroom, kitchen, and living room with exciting new arrivals!
Don't wanna wait! Shop now! Happy New Year from Tools! So come visit us at 279 Spanish Town Road, 4 South Camp Road, 8 Red Hills Road,
or online at toolsja.com.
Tools!
The Lion King of Heart here.
Welcome back to Rebel Radio. We are skipping over now to St. Lucia, and we want to spend some time. We have Mr. Dale Elliott, St. Lucian journalist. Good afternoon, Gail. How are you?
I am awesome. Thank you for inviting me to your show.
Yes.
Good afternoon to your listeners.
Yes. Right. As I said, that we want to spend the last year was a bad year for crime for all Caribbean countries, Bill. All the countries in the Caribbean had a very bad year. In St. Lucia, for your country, I see where they had 78 or 77 murders last year, and that was up from 70. And therefore, it is incumbent, all of us in the Caribbean this year will have to do something to address this problem. I see where the government, I was looking at a report where the government, St. Lucian government, yes, vowed to stem crime this year, because, as I said, they too recognize how, dreadful it is. So, in St. Lucia, Dale, what is the how the people are coping with the crime in St. Lucia?
Well, first of all, every country from Japan, China, St. Lucia, Jamaica, we all have a crime issue.
Yes, of course.
St. Lucia's crime issue, when we speak of the numbers, I guess you're speaking of our homicide rate.
Yes.
So, St. Lucia's homicide rate is unusually high as compared to our neighbors. Barbados, for example, in 2023 recorded 21 homicides, whereas we recorded 76, I believe. The 2024,
you mean Barbados last year recorded 52?
No, sorry, the year before they were 21. 2022, they were 21. My apologies. And in that year, we recorded 74. I think our number was 74 and theirs was 21. And that was a strategic move because the gang leaders came together. Winston Branch, for example, from Chapman Lane, brought all of the warring factions in Barbados together. And based on discussions, they were able to reduce their homicide rate to the lowest it had been in 10 years. And that was from a simple truce between the gangs. St. Lucia did try the very same thing in 2023, I believe. And there was a significant reduction, especially in Vieux Fort within the period of April 2023 and October. The homicide rate in Vieux Fort in particular went down to almost zero.
Yes.
So strides are being made, and it's not just by central government, but agencies and non-governmental agencies, violence interrupters have been doing a pretty good job coming together to reduce the numbers. Last year was not an anomaly, but let me give you an example. Between January and October 2023 and 2024, we had the same number of homicides, 67. However, in 2024, burglaries was down. The number of robberies was down. Narcotics were up. Firearm offenses were up. Stolen motor vehicles was down. Stealing from person was up. And sexual offenses, they went up as well in 2024. There was a dramatic shift, or there has been a dramatic shift with the new Commissioner of Police to, one, be more transparent with public information, two, to show a greater show of force by having men on the ground. So, for example, our Prime Minister has allocated funds, and we now have 40 or 45 new recruits. And in a show of force, these recruits straight from training school have nearly all been sent out on the beat. So you can't even pass a corner in the city of Castries from January 1st. Nearly every single corner there is a police presence, and it is there throughout the day. And the number of roadblocks and traffic checks randomly around the island has increased nearly 100%. Because if you compare it to January 2024, we did not have that. And the Prime Minister has assured the country that a new set of recruits will be trained, as well as the hiring of nearly 40 SPCs. And it is primarily to get crime in the city down, and so the police themselves will go on the offensive. So the country itself has been making strides, because we are aware that this homicide rate is unsustainable, and is at some point in time it will start to impact our tourism product. On that note, I must say that crime in St. Lucia, as in many countries, is geographic in nature. So it happens in a particular area. And when I say crime, I mean homicides. The people who are involved in the homicides, maybe 1% are random crimes. We do not have crimes against tourists. That's not really a thing here. And most of these killings back and forth are either gang-related or retaliatory killings. So, in essence, St. Lucia is still a very, very safe place to visit, to live, and to work. The conflict happens in a circle and in a cycle.
But Dale, one of the things that, and I'm sure this is the case in St. Lucia, that the young people, they are the perpetrators and they are also the victims. So that is something that it is across the Caribbean, and it's something that must be addressed. In other words, what we are seeing throughout the Caribbean, that the young people, they are the perpetrators, and the reaction from the state has been to the use of suppressive force to address the crime problem. And
I don't understand what you mean by suppressive force. So please explain that in this context.
Yes. In other words, in Trinidad, you have state of emergency. The government declared the state of emergency in January. In Jamaica, you have state of emergency. When you look at the tactics, the measures used by the police forces against around the Caribbean is one of suppression. Now, what we need to find ways to prevent these young people from getting involved in crimes, getting involved in the criminal activities. And therefore, I see your government has announced it too, social intervention programs to target the young males both in schools and around the communities to prevent them. We need to look in that direction, don't you think so?
Absolutely, and which is why the Ubuntu movement, who spearheaded the peace treaty in Beaufort, they have gone one step further. They have set up a center, an empowerment center, where young people from the communities can come and get training in various fields. And from that training, then they move into job training and placement through the Ubuntu movement. And these are youth at risk in high-risk communities. So let's take Beaufort, for example, where when there was a state of emergency imposed on that particular area, after the peace treaty was agreed to by the various gangs, the Ubuntu movement came in with the help of government and funding from government. And so to say that our government is only about suppressing of crime, of course, the police must do their work when it comes to that, but the social interventions are fully in place in St. Lucia. And it's once upon a time, it was lip service. I could genuinely say now that it is backed by central government funding, and the agencies, both governmental and non-governmental agencies, have been working together to ensure that these at-risk youth have a better opportunity by getting training and placement.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So far, you mentioned earlier that there again, the killings are mostly gang related. That is the case across the Caribbean, Dale. The killings in Barbados, in Trinidad, in Jamaica, gang related. But the question I want to ask you is that what is the impact? In other words, is it impacting business? Is it impacting nightlife, for example? So, in other words, are people fearful to go out at nights and to go out and to enjoy themselves? Are you experiencing that in St. Lucia?
I think that for some time in 2023, in 2022, when there was a spate of crime in Beaufort in particular, that it was a bit of an issue. Crime had affected Beaufort in particular, literally when the commercial sector in Beaufort had to shut down at 1 o'clock because gunmen were killing people not indiscriminately, but targeting people in retaliatory killings. The town went on a shutdown, and it impacted commerce significantly. Beaufort was brought down to a ghost town, where no social activities were happening, and we said when you said you were from Beaufort, you were stigmatized. That is not the case for all of St. Lucia. And like I said, the majority of killings here are targeted and related, and in certain areas. So it has not affected the nightlife in our main party strip in Rodney Bay or Groseley Friday night, which is our premier tourist activity on a Friday. It hasn't really affected that. And more importantly, the police presence in these areas is significantly ramped up during these events, and especially on a weekend. So to say that it has spilled over, I would disagree. We have had a few shootings, again, gang-related or in using conflict with each other. It usually starts off as a beach argument at our Pigeon Island Causeway, where young people get together on a Sunday afternoon. That has resulted in 2 or 3 homicides. But that in itself is an anomaly. These killings that we're having are mostly targeted.
Okay, yes. That is... and the most of these killings are the firearms. Firearms is the main weapon used by the gangsters. Am I right?
Absolutely. In 2024, 91 people were charged with possession of illegal firearms as compared to 86 in 2023. Ammunition just as well, 85 people discharging firearm with intent. 64 people were arrested for that and assaulted firearm. It's 24. It is common, believe me. Firearm recoveries firearm recoveries in 2024 was on a decline between January to November. The police intercepted 72 of them as compared to 94 in the previous year.
Yes. And the use of drugs, is that also on the increase? Is that so?
Hear your sentence?
No, I'm saying drugs. Is that, and the use of drugs, is that also on the increase in the island? Drug trafficking. Hello, Dale? Hello? Because if we lost Dale there for a moment. Are you hearing me, Dale?
Yes, you asked about drug offenses?
Yes, I was asking if drug trafficking is also on the increase.
In 2024, there's a marginal increase. There were 251 cases between January and October in 2023 as compared to 288 in 2024. So there was a marginal increase. And the majority of these drug offenses were happening in the Northern and Central Division. For Northern Division, 43%, and Central Division, 34% of these offenses.
Yes. Oh, I see.
And,
so, yes.
Interestingly though, cannabis still remains the the, 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 bulk of these disruptions. intent to supply cannabis, there were 81 cases. Unlawful possession of cannabis, 106 cases. Whereas intent to supply cocaine in 2024, there were only 20 cases, and unlawful possession, 24 cases.
Wow. Well, as I said, as I said earlier on, the situation in St. Lucia is not confined to St. Lucia, because like in the other Caribbean countries, the use of the gun is very prevalent. Gun is a weapon of choice for the gangsters. Drug trafficking is also on the increase. As a matter of fact, the Caribbean region is a transshipment port, because we are close to the major drug producing countries, and they use the Caribbean as a transshipment port. So in the Caribbean, we have that to deal with. So as we speak, you would say that things are, based on the steps taken so far, you are anticipating a downward trend in crime in St. Lucia this year.
Absolutely. January has started out with a few homicides, but like the police can't be everywhere to stop those. And I think it's going to be challenging to stop personal conflict-related homicides. Two guys having an argument in a bar, one pulling out a gun and shooting the other. It's going to be difficult for the police to stop that. However, as it relates to the gang-related crime, the police are on the offensive. So a lot of the gang leaders and gang members, simplest things that they get arrested for nowadays, because they're gang people, they find it quite difficult to access bail. And that in itself keeps them off the streets and reduce crime by extension.
Well, let us hope that things will improve and, we stop killing each other, because one of the things we have to remember, that the majority of us in the Caribbean are black people. And we are killing the gunmen. The gunmen are not Chinese gunmen. They are not Arab gunmen. They are black gunmen killing each other. So we have to do whatever we can to reduce the killings of each other this year. So
absolutely,
yes, I want to thank you very much for your time. And at Rebel Radio, what we do, we try to talk with our Caribbean brothers and sisters, because as I indicated, the problems we face are similar, and we are one people. So thank you for the time, and you know that you are the voice, one of the voices for Rebel Radio in St. Lucia. Have a good evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, sir. Good night.
Okay. Yes, sir. That was Mr. Dale Elliott, St. Lucian journalist, keeping us abreast of what is happening in St. Lucia. And you heard the situation there, the gang-related killings is a problem. It is a problem in Jamaica. It's a problem in Barbados. It's a problem in Trinidad. It's a Caribbean problem, right? And the young people are involved. They are the ones who are mostly involved. And as we have to do something, we have to find a way this year to reduce the killings. Reduce the killings. It is a task for all of us. And as I repeatedly say that one of the things that we have to do this year is to try and get the Caribbean to treat the crime problem as a public health issue. Yes, we want that to be done this year because the situation is, very, very challenging, and we are hoping that we can find ways to address it. Hello, Ben?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes. How are you this evening, Ben?
Why, I'm there, it's rough, but I'm there, Jamaicans mentality is just like it to me, like, we need some material and thing at a certain time. Alright, I never specified the time. So now the man, we there, prepare for finish off the job. The man said kind of late.
Just hold on a second there, Ben. Let me, just hold a second there for me. Hold it, please. I'm trying to.
Alami Donny. The pan radio.
Oh, I am hearing you now, Ben. A while ago I was not hearing you. So you are enjoying the climate in St. Elizabeth?
Definitely, man, definitely.
Yes.
Beautiful weather.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful weather.
Okay. All right. And
better, it's I can't ask for better.
Yes. Right, because right now I know it is cold in the United States.
Cool? If it's cool, it's not cool. It's freezing.
yes.
Yeah, but I talked to my best friend today and tell him I'm planning to come up and say, no, this week is so cold that we're off school is canceled and next week gonna be colder.
Yes. Yeah, man.
Rough.
Okay. All right, Ben, I want you to just hold it there for me. We are going to take a break. We'll soon be back.
Okay,
hold it. Yes. This is Rebel Radio. Let's go for a break.
It's the Everybody Sale at New Budget Supplies. Do-it-yourself professionals and contractors. This is the sale for you. Lumber, steel, dress and form ply, water tanks, pumps, PVC pipes and fittings, toilets, bathtubs, vanities and basins, windows, paint, doors, floor and wall tiles, thin sets and grout. Up to 20% off selected items. 195 Hagley Road. Telephone 923-4560. New Budget Supplies. Always the best prices.
This Friday at 4:30 p.m., join me for a brand new episode of the Big Bite Food Safety Show. We're diving into an important conversation about the legacy of colonialism and its impact on our nutrition today. From the rise of processed foods to the challenges of balancing traditional diets with modern eating habits, we're exploring how history still shapes what we eat and how we feed our children. Did you know that Caribbean children face rising rates of obesity while also suffering from malnutrition? We're bringing you solutions like government programs, local food initiatives, and tips on integrating nutrient-rich foods into your family's diet. Let's take a bite.
It's Tools Hardware Supplies New Year Renovation Mega Sale!
For the whole month of January!
Get unbeatable prices
on porcelain, ceramic tiles, windows, doors, paints, and more!
Top quality products to renovate your bathroom, kitchen, and living room with exciting new arrivals!
Don't wanna wait! Shop now! Happy New Year from Tools! So come visit us at 279 Spanish Town Road, 4 South Camp Road, 8 Red Hills Road,
or online at toolsja.com.
Tools!
The Lion King of Heart here.
Welcome back to Rebel Radio. Yes, yes. So Ben, yes, Ben, when the situation with migration, President, in a couple of days, President Trump will be sworn in, and one of the issues I know is the whole question of migration.
Immigration.
Yes, immigration, right? And what he intend to do. Now, in your circles, I mean, what are what are people saying when you?
Well,
yes.
This is it. President Trump speak off the top of his head. He don't think from his heart. He don't like do the numbers before he open his mouth.
Yeah.
You know, the numbers says if America get rid of 10% of their illegal immigrant right now,
yes,
American economy going to go down 5%. That's the numbers, because guess what? The job that the illegal immigrants are doing, the Americans are not going to do it. And the price that the illegal immigrants are doing it for, the American will not do it for them. The illegal immigrants keep inflation down because, Ms. Snow, inflation is a reflection on the price of everything going up, like labor going up. Prior to COVID, you can get a cashier for $9.50 an hour, and it's a good paying cashier. She make her tips and everything all right. However, after COVID, you pay that same person $15 an hour, and you can't raise the price up but so much. But at the same time, onion gone up, flour gone up, chicken gone up, everything gone up, gas gone up, everything gone up. So therefore, small business only could break them up now is a little cheaper layer that they can have. Because you have to pay American $15 an hour to do something called basic work, like hotel. So if hotel, for example, because Donald Trump had hotels and he had illegal people working in his hotel prior to his first run. It's a fact. We're not talking off the top of, these are facts. And he understands about economics. So now you get rid of the illegal immigrants who are working in these service industries. What the price going to be in these industries? Like hotel room going to jump 10-15%. Yeah, lawn care 10-15%. Restaurant food 10-15%, because the American not going to work for under $15 an hour. You imagine paying American to pick lettuce, because there's no machine to pick lettuce yet. How much you going to charge? How much American you going to pay an American citizen to pick lettuce? How much you going to pay them? And if you're going to give them that much money, you're going to have to get the money back. So you're going to go in the price of the goods. Therefore, inflation going to go up. It's a fact of life. Okay. It's a fact of life. So he thought the thought, but when it comes down to it, he can't do it. He can't do it. You cannot get rid of them. If you get rid of them, it's going to reflect on our economy.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to reflect on our economy. Inflation is going to go up.
Yes.
It has to go up. It's just the nature of the beast. Yeah. Inflation is going to go up when labor price go up. Everything is going up. And if you got 15% increase or 10-20% increase on labor, then everything going to go up. Because labor is a drumbeat of pricing. Materials is not the drum beat, it's the labor. That's why they're going through the whole mechanical production now, where you have machine making things and stuff like that, so it can be more affordable. But there are things in the economy where machine can't do. Machine can't spread out a room bed. Machine can't pick lettuce.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things. So I don't know. I just one thing I know is that if the price of labor go up, inflation going to increase.
Yeah.
And all presidents from high inflation lose.
Mm-hmm.
And in America, the first term president, they spend the first term trying to stabilize them before they can do anything. So he's going in now and say he's going to do this and do that. No president going and do that in the first term. He was going to build a wall. He didn't build it. The second term around, he don't mention building a wall. He bring up new issues.
Yeah.
And these new issues, he can't accomplish them either, because imagine taking Greenland. So hold on there. If you go invade Greenland, take Greenland, so why you talking about Russia going you understand where I'm going from? Yeah. So these are it waits to be seen, because I don't see it being done.
No, you know, one of you live in America, so you probably can answer this question. No, you know, one of the things I feel that President Trump is pushing is that the white people, the number of colored
minority versus majority.
Yes, the number of colored.
The census people cleared about 10 years ago. Say in 2050 to 2052. The majority in America will become the minority, and the minority will become the majority. It's going to happen. It has to happen, but you can push it off, delay it, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. But
I think the white people are not in favor of that.
No, but here's the thing about it. They I have white friends. They're decent people. But there's a difference between white America in the cities and white America in the rural areas. Okay. There are white Americans, generations of white Americans in the rural area, never shake hands with a black man, ever. Never. Shake hands with a colored person, ever.
Yes.
Never. Because people, the average, when you're looking into America, you see New York, you see Miami, you see Dallas, you see Houston, you see San Francisco. These are big cities, Chicago. These are cities that have ports. There's ports.
Yes.
But majority of America is an inland where there's no port. So they don't mix too much with the others. So they don't want things to change. They want their situation to be the same as far as what we call it now. Entitlements, where we are this. We have it like this, we have it like that, we want to maintain like that. But America cannot grow if it stays like that. Because farming, where a lot of them come getting their farming done, is gone. China said, nah, buy not more. China put in place system where they could produce more for themselves, cut back on wastage, and get new contract with Brazil, Australia, and all these places. Mm-hmm. So when you lose the market, you're not going to get it back.
Oh, so China is buying less farm products from America.
Yeah, because when Trump say all them big talk, China say, all right, fuck it. You're gonna embargo this, embargo that. We're gonna embargo your thing too. And for China, a lot of grain for China. And China say 40% type we want now. Instead of getting, for example, instead of getting 100 million ton of this, I just take 40 million ton. So you lose 50% of the market. Mm-hmm. Brazil is popping off now. Argentina, Australia, all them places are popping off, producing like crazy. But China is taking desert and turning it into farmland. China's serious about making up because China don't want to be beholden to nobody. China don't want nobody use the embargo stuff where America use, they weaponize the embargo thing. Where the embargo, this embargo, that, the tax, this, the tax, that. It's just a weird way to rule the world because America, patriotism is not into the laissez-faire system. Laissez-faire system is about making money. And the laissez-faire system is about corporation. It's not the person, it's the corporation. Corporation doesn't have soul. They don't have soul. They want their bottom line supposed to be black, not red. And the blacker it is, the better it off.
Yeah.
So therefore, they go for the profit. That's how China get up so fast because American business people, laissez-faire system, go into China and go for the profit. Go for the profit. They run down left America and go China for the profit. Low cost production generate more profit. Because labor-intensive items are more expensive. But if you can take it to China where the labor cost is low, you'll make more profit. So that's what they do. Even Elon Musk take his car, take the battery operated car system over to China because China have 1.4 billion people. So a hell of a market. Bigger than the American market right now.
Yes.
And you go over there in China, say, listen, no, you want to use my labor, you want to do this for you. You have share technology, which was China do it in their best interest. It's not a big deal. When America was growing, America take technology from France and from England, and they used to cuss and complain about America using their technology to expand. But that's what happens when a nation is growing forward. You're gonna take from others. Just like America take our best citizens from all over the third world, doctors from India, doctors from everywhere, engineers from everywhere, and bring them into their economy to make the economy grow. But with this immigration thing now, what are you going to do? You're going to say Jamaica can only give you this much citizen and this citizen that Jamaica is getting visa to come after a certain level of education. If you come from India, you have to come to America with certain level of education. If you're coming from anywhere in the Caribbean, you have to come with a certain level of education so you can contribute to the American economy. That's where it go now. It is economic transfer. We call it technology transfer in a different way, not just just a brain transfer. Put it that way, brain transfer from their own base to another country and create more for that country.
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't see all the rhetoric about immigration. I don't see him. He can't do it. He can't do it. As a business person, I would suffer if he do it. And there's so many small businesses would suffer if you do it.
Yes.
So many businesses will suffer if you do it. And if you have a small business, hire more people than large business now. The biggest business in America do not hire more people than small business than now.
No, it's the small business, the drivers of the economy. They know that.
Yes. So you can't go punish the small business because you punish small business now to make money. And you don't make money now, get no taxes. So all the big, you want to go buy Greenland land, where you get the money from? You want to build a military to another level, where you going to get the money from?
Yes.
Where you going to get the money from? But they have a trick where they do with the money, where they give certain friends of ours who in some military confrontation a certain amount of money. They'll take that money and send it back to America to lobbyists. And these lobbyists will take that money now and go into Congress and get congressmen to put money towards congressmen re-election, senators re-election, to get their vote on issues that relate to the country in which that money comes from secondary. Money comes from America, go to that country send the money back into America to buy the American politician re-election process so that they get things their way. And that's what's going on. And it's bad. It happened in Rome. Think about the history of all great nations. It happens. And we're doing the same thing. But we don't learn. We don't learn from our mistakes. As an American, been in America for 50-something years, I know we don't learn from our mistakes. There are people in America, especially the people in the middle America, I don't know if they read, I don't know if they have access to all the information, but they don't act like they know. They don't act like they understand what's going on.
Yeah.
Definitely don't act like they understand what's going on. They go out there, no way we can, listen now, what we spend on military, we have over 270-something military base all over the world. And some, if you add all them total, it's a little one with a big one, about 700 military bases all over the world. Rome did that, and Rome didn't have that much. Genghis Khan did it, didn't have that much. All them great warriors and conquerors all over the world through world history have done that will never have nothing close to what we have. So all the deficit that we've been spending is because of our military expansion.
Yes.
Our military expansion caused a deficit. If we was to cut back like other places, we wouldn't have a deficit. And deficit is what hurt the economy because we have the oldest cities. China has a network of them super trains that could wrap around the world one time. They wrap around. They have enough railroad track for those super trains that could wrap around the earth one time. In America, we don't have 100 miles of it. We don't have 100 miles of it.
Yeah.
China's cities are newer than our cities.
Yes. And
China technology for building is better than ours. China's shipbuilding is getting better than ours. China doing things and China don't spend the money that we spend. China don't spend the money we spend because when we spend the money, there are corporate people making a killing. Every time there's a bullet fire in the world somewhere, there are certain people in America making money.
Yeah.
So they were the laissez-faire system is not working in the best interest of America.
And
it works in the best interest of some Americans, but not in the best interest of America as a whole.
Yeah. And
the money we spend on military, my God.
And as you are aware, Ben, that empires rise and empires fall.
Well, it's natural order of things.
Yes.
The natural order of things.
Yeah.
And we look at Rome. Rome went.
Yeah, of course.
Greece went.
Yes.
Egypt went.
Yes.
They all went. Even Muslims went. Everything goes.
So the American Empire. The American.
We're going so fast.
Yes.
Yeah.
The American
British
Empire.
Remember one time, the sun cannot set on the British Empire. It was so big. Yeah, it was so big. And there are still people in England now, in Britain, swear that they have that swag still.
Yes.
But naturally, the swag is gone.
Yes.
The swag is gone. And we know we don't learn. Our politician is not about the best interest. Our politician is about the best interest of them getting re-elected. That's all it is. All they care about being re-elected.
Yes.
So when you have a president talk certain thing, you can't step to the president and say no. Because guess what? It might say something, it might trump you and you don't win the next election. The American politicians not as we call it, patriotic as they used to be back in the days when a president like George Washington said, listen, I don't want to be a king. I don't want to be in this office longer than 2 terms. And set the standard where a president can't be longer than 2 terms. Yes. There's a reason for that. There's a reason for that distinguish us between the rest of the world when there was kings and queens and stuff like that. Because there was drawback on those things, and the drawback on the kings and queens that people's rights were trampled. But in America's system, the rights of people is honored. So because of that, no, we don't want no kings. We don't want an empire. The rights of the people. The rights of people is
but the rights of people.
But no, the right of corporations needs to be more.
Yeah, the rights of people are being trampled in America, no?
Oh yeah. How can you give a corporation billions of dollars break, but you can't give poor people student loan forgiveness? And the money we spend in Israel and a war there between Russia could have cleared every American citizen who owes student loan, could have wiped out that student loan one go. That's how much money we spend over there on war, because somebody's making money.
Yeah.
There are a set of people making money. And it's not the average American making money. I'm on the phone, bro. I'm on an interview. Yeah.
No.
Yes. There's people who making money, corporations making money, and when corporations making money, there's people who are making money that are invested in the corporation.
Yes.
So that's one problem we have in America now. American people have to get up and recognize that, listen now, it's we, not the corporation. Corporation don't vote. but they buy votes.
Yes.
You know, there's some laws now where you could, the different bodies can put unlimited amount of money into an election to sway the election one way or the other. And that's not what the America was about. There was no way a corporation can, or any one entity can spend enough money where it can influence the outcome of an election.
Yeah.
Elon Musk, him alone can influence the election.
Yes.
That's not what America is about.
He's a billionaire.
No one man can influence. Yeah. No one man can influence the outcome of an election.
Yeah.
And we're losing it. The greatest country in the world is losing it.
Yeah. Ben, you will remember that when the SSL scandal broke in Jamaica, that Jamaicans in America, you know, they had some questions about the banking system, our banking system.
Yes, and, you know, the question's still open.
Yes, that's what I want to find out. People are still, you know, hesitant to open bank accounts here?
I am. I know the main reason is transparency. There's no transparency. Oh, listen, you know what, a question I asked a bank recently. I went to get some money out from my daily spending. And the people who comes out of the bank and come into the kiosk where the machines are and go in it, and the security come and say they have to go in first to do a transfer. So I'm like, so why do they leave the bank and come into the kiosk here to do a transfer? That's where they do transfer. So come to find out, you go into a bank and you can't do a deposit in the bank. Because normally you write up a deposit slip and do your deposit. Normally you write up a withdrawal slip and get your money out. Normally you write a transfer slip to transfer your money. No, you got to do it online into the kiosk. So what purpose the bank serve? That's how I want to know. Well, all them people line up in the bank over them have money them borrow, or probably them have them are question them account. What does the bank do? It's a big question. And one of the biggest thing is Jamaican editorial people are so weak. The media, the strong media that we used to have, the Gleaner and the Star, have become puppets of the system. They don't have journalists go out and do investigative report on issues. Deep investigative report. Jamaican doesn't have that.
Yes.
Deep investigative report. They don't do that, and that's one of the weaknesses of Jamaica right now. And it is one of the things that rolling Jamaican economy don't cause. If me retire and my money coming straight to my Jamaican account, say for example, I get $6,000 a month retirement. I go into a bank. Remember, I can't use that. That's nearly $1 million. Short, very, very short from $1 million. I mean, very close to $1 million. My house is paid for. My car is paid for. So what on there? I have 3 people working for me. One take care of my yard, one take care of another house, and one driving where I want to go. I hope my money left back. Then one day, me get up my money gone. Probably take me 3 years to find what happened to my money, and them can't replace it. That's not good. That's not good. There's no confidence in the banking system. So people now hesitant to put their money in the bank. There's a lot of poor people hesitant to put their money in the bank, and they can't over lose.
Yeah.
Hesitant, and guess what? I said many times before, the banking system is to drive the economy. So therefore, I take my money, I put it in the bank take my money and give me a small interest on it, but in lend my money out at a better interest so they can use it to take care of their expense to businesses. Business take that money and buy inventory or expand their business to create more jobs. And the job pay tax. So the government benefit. But the government just sit back and make the banking system fall apart. You know, I found out that, from what I understand, I keep up with the news, the leaders in Jamaica put their money out 30 days before gold money was discovered missing. They knew that there was an issue. And they tell their friends, and they pull the money out and gold left back. How you can do that to a national hero? And then you talk about you now pay it back. But you can have a era in the government where $1 billion would have been missing, and nobody will lose them house, nobody will lose them land, nobody will lose them pension, nobody will go to prison. It's a joke. Big time joke.
Yeah.
Big time joke. Can you imagine that? And Nigel Clark, I'm impressed with Nigel Clark because because of his academic standings and his knowledge of finance. But I'm saying Nigel Clark in Jamaica right now in a money thing. Nigel Clark will recognize the issues and straighten them out. Nigel Clark left. You know why Nigel Clark left? Because him see the crisis that come. Him no one see the crisis that come because no money a theme problem. And no money a theme problem, man, all accolades he needed. Don't need no more.
Yes.
And he left.
Yes. Yes.
He left because he see money out of the program where both lose the money, So I saw it coming themselves. Yes. It's a damn shame. An integrity commission is a joke. They should call it something else. Shithouse commission. Called joke them a joke. Them a rush the police to defend themselves and defend the community. When boy I walk on the street with M16 and AK fully automatic and the police kill them, they want to come put the police on leave. Police have to get them own lawyer and things like that. When a man walk around on the street with like M16, it's not a regular citizen. It's not for defense. It's a create mayhem.
Yeah.
Mayhem. So therefore when him dead with the time and left it alone.
Yeah. Ben, I tell you what.
Police for. Yeah. What you do with a man with M16? You tell me you make him shoot at you first? Shoot him.
We have to leave it there today for today, Ben. We have exhausted our time.
I'm sorry for rent. I'm sorry for renting so much, but I'm so emotional type.
Let us say to be continued.
Earth is so much friends of mine who want to come home. Just say, yo, me a madman because everybody around left Jamaica, me around come home.
Okay.
Earth.
To be continued, Ben.
All right, my dear, you know.
Take care.
Bless up.
All right. That is the end of today's show. Yes. And you heard that's one returning, that's a Jamaican. There's an issue there, some returning some Jamaicans want to return home, but they are not. Thanks to all my listeners and viewers for today. Thanks to my technical operator, Kevin. Remember, drivers, riders, pedestrians, take it easy on our roads. And do your best to remain safe and healthy until Friday. This is Rebel Radio, and I am Desmond Richards.
Professionals and contractors, this is the sale for you. Lumber, steel, dress and form ply, water tanks, pumps, PVC pipes and fittings, toilets, bathtubs, vanities and basins, windows, paint, doors, floor and wall tiles, thin sets and grout. Up to 20% off selected items. 195 Hagley Park Road. Telephone 923-4560. New budget supplies. Always the best prices.
This Friday at 4:30 p.m., join me for a brand new episode of the Big Bite Food Safety Show. We're diving into an important conversation about the legacy of colonialism and its impact on our nutrition today. From the rise of processed foods to the challenges of balancing traditional diets with modern eating habits, we're exploring how history still shapes what we eat and how we feed our children. Did you know that Caribbean children face rising rates of obesity while also suffering from malnutrition? We're bringing you solutions like government programs, local food initiatives, and tips on integrating nutrient-rich foods into your family's diet. Let's take a bite.
It's Tools Hardware Supplies New Year Renovation Mega Sale!
For the whole month of January!
Get unbeatable prices
on porcelain, ceramic tiles, windows, doors, paints, and more!
Top quality products to renovate your bathroom, kitchen, and living room with exciting new arrivals!
Don't wanna wait! Shop now! Happy New Year from Tools! So come visit us at 279 Spanish Town Road, 4 South Camp Road, 8 Red Hills Road,
or online at toolsja.com.
Tools!
The Lion King of Hearts here.
It's the right now. I just got me a deal with ya. So what I want, my friend George Dukes?
Why, Richard Stevens? Well, that's the day I did the almighty praises.
And the best thing that, cause when I remember just where I am coming from,
to where I'm standing down,
fell to my knees in praise of your name.
Thanking you, Lord, every step of the way.
Oh, Father, you know I love you.
You touch my heart, my soul with your mercy.
I thank you, my Lord, for all you've done for me. You bless my life in soul.
Good afternoon to all my listeners and viewers. Welcome to Rebel Radio. Yes, today being Wednesday. Yes. And as usual, we have your plate, filled with news for you. Interesting discussions today. And we are going to start our day, at Rebel Radio.